This program is rated MA. It contains adult themes, coarse language, sexual references, and violence.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's Friday night. It's Open Comps, and we're back. Iron Wolf, I have not made a nameplate for you yet, so I will get that going here in a bit. But Dirk and I are here. We have no Brisk, so I put the suit on instead, because we can't be short a suit, right? And then Rain's here.
I am fucking retarded.
Hi.
Are you?
I really am.
You just found that out now?
No, I didn't just find it out now. It's just like I'm reinforcing it with my fucking self. Yeah, apparently, so Opus sent me something saying that Eve Onion wasn't updating, the RSS wasn't updating on Total Eve. And he said he checked it on his end, so it must be on our end. So I sent a DM off to the guy that handles the thing and whatnot, and I get a reply back from Araya going, yeah, I show the last thing on there being December 5th, and there's nothing on Total Eve.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, did I send that to you, Araya? It's like, what the fuck?
The Misfit and Go-Go, thanks for the 4 months. And Dilligaff? Lawrence, thanks for the sub.
Dilligaff.
Does
it look like I give
yeah, I was like, I that's exactly what it means. I had to go look at the letters really fast.
I can see like
and there's
a
Araya out
out in his head. Does it look like?
Yeah, I was like, count it out. Yeah. Anyway,
Araya, needless to say, that wasn't meant for you, but thanks for confirming that it is in fact not showing up.
Hello, Bob. D&G number 1.
I feel like we need to start over. Nah, fuck it. You know what? That's just the way it goes.
Welcome to the Open Comp Show.
That's how we do it.
Exactly. We're not some highbrow show. Anyways, yeah, it's another Friday fucking night. My wife's coming home from Connecticut, so she'll be home shortly, which will be good. She went up like Sunday night, and I haven't seen her all freaking week, so it's been
peaceful.
It's been, yeah, I didn't.
Just you and the cat, right?
I didn't shave, the last couple days, so
That's
I know.
like,
I feel your pain. This is overnight shaving.
That's every few days for me. I shave once or twice a week. I mean, who shaves every day?
No
That's
one.
a hell of a clothing combination you have there, though, Drayden.
It's what I could find.
It's what I could find.
It's
not what I wear every day.
I work in menial labor. We like a suit and tie. I don't even know what this means.
Can I comment? Brisk wore a suit and tie every day at Vegas, but not only that, he's really fucking tall.
We were by the pool,
and
he was suit and tie and everything, and I'm like, dude.
Mm-hmm.
What was funny was he came up to the pool, and he's sitting there having a drink or whatever. We're just chatting. It was like during the day, or like early part of the day, and my wife was sitting next to him, like kind of off a little bit, but I went to take a picture of him, and I made sure I got just enough skin from her in it, so that when I tweeted it out, one of his national security lawyer buddies, I didn't tag him or anything. I didn't tag Brisk because I never tag Brisk by his real name. I just hate doing it for anything related to Eve. But and that guy replied back going, "Hey, wait a second, where are you? And who's the woman next to you?"
Oh my god.
Iron Wolf, you're in Goons, right?
No, I'm an initiative.
God damn it. Okay, good. I have a logo for them anyway.
You should, because it's Brisk is in there with
You're
me.
in Goons, right?
Yeah,
I asked her, I was like, "You're Goons, right?" He's like, "Yeah."
Goons,
I think you meant like overarching Goons.
If you just put Imperium, I guess I couldn't.
I'll put Goons or Initiative.
Ouch.
Anyways, yeah. So another Friday night, and here we are. We got another release coming up on Tuesday, which we'll get to in a little bit. I guess there was one of these new Eve. What happened to the? Did we ever hear an explanation?
Community team is dead, Dirk. That's why. You can't do a community thing with 2 members of a community team.
We're all part of the community.
That's
right?
why the 07 show is dead. It's because of the community team.
What the fuck's that? They're still doing a video type thing. So what difference? Why change the name?
Because it's shorter and they're like doing very
Yeah.
small tidbits.
Gotcha. All right. Okay.
Just,
Whatever.
just little
Eve
quick
Pulse.
news clips.
Eve Pulse.
Eve Pulse.
Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, that video's out there. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it covered some stuff, right? You know, there's some skins coming out, and you got the new cruisers coming out. But whatever, we're gonna go over that. I assume in patch notes. So I don't even know why I'm gonna even mention it. Other than, you know, if you're one of those people that likes to watch those things, I'll link the link out there for you in case you I don't know, haven't seen it or want to see it or want to watch it, like, before, during, or after this show, whatever. There it fucking is.
So, Dirk, speaking of,
Yeah.
you said patch notes. Is there a patch?
Yeah, there's the December update is coming out this coming Tuesday.
When do we hear about that?
The patch notes came out today.
There's patch notes for a Friday with a patch coming out Tuesday. Does anyone else find that like really fucking annoying?
I think didn't the last patch notes not come out until after the release? Or the expansion,
Or on,
I'm
on
sorry.
the day.
I thought
on
they
the day
came
of.
like right before.
Or the expansion, shall we say? The release expansion.
The short expansion, schedule expansion.
Yeah, this is about normal. This is about normal. 3-4 days before. It could have come out yesterday, I guess, but whatever. It's out. It's out now. I mean,
So I didn't really see anything interesting in this release, to be quite honest with you. But
yeah,
The Warnight change is pretty big.
Well, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I think that was a
We'll
long
actually
time
go-
coming. Yeah.
We'll actually get to get to that. I mean, that's kind of a separate subject. There was a separate dev blog for that. But Mr. McGurk, what are you drinking today? I am drinking Yingling and Tito's. Oh yeah, which by the way, did you guys ever go and get your drinks?
I have
I have
a
the
shot
one I
ready.
just bought.
I had to cheap it up.
I
today,
just
so-
finished off my old bottle. I'll have to go out to my car and get the other one here in a second. But I got one. I got a shot ready for this.
Wait,
You
what's
do?
this?
All right.
What's this shot for?
Doing a shot to my man George Herbert Walker Bush. Rest in peace, motherfucker. Props to the last statesman president, the last one who was truly qualified to hold the job. I don't even fucking lie about that. Everything since then has just been like shabby fucking resumes. But anyways, yeah, whatever. I don't give a fuck what people say. He was actually my first. He wasn't. Yeah, he was. That was the first election I ever voted in, 1988. And then yes, I voted against him in 1992 because I voted for Perot, not because I voted for fucking Clinton. But whatever. It's not what we're here for.
Or is it not?
But I did want to throw a fucking shout out to the man. Yeah. What do we got? I don't know. There's some stuff coming out with this. I would not expect this to be a big heavy one, considering the fact that they just had an expansion. So therefore, considering the fact that they just had an expansion, so this is not that big. I mean, you've got the Abyssal Cruiser, the Logi Cruisers coming out, the Triglavian Logi Cruisers.
Which is
Tech 1
gonna
and
be-
Tech 2, isn't there?
Which is going to be
one
interesting
in Tech two.
because, like, see how they worked out the spool up Logi effect there.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So the same way that the weapon damage works with Triglavian guns, where it builds the longer they're firing, that's the way reps are going to be. Which I guess will be really good for FCs.
Well, so the thing is that they mention it
Super
in the patch
snowflakes.
notes. They put, hey, this is only going to like go on the Trig Logi ship. So it's not like you can have Guardians or
Right.
whatever with it. But they said, and they made a bit in like big bold caps, like only these ships for now. So it'll be really interesting to see if they might introduce them to like the Guardian and Oneros or like other Logi ships. I don't know why you'd put it on a shield ship, but just to like.
I'm going to ask a stupid question because I have not flown one, have not give a shit to fly one. Triglavian ships themselves, can you put their weapon systems on other ships?
As far as I know, no.
No,
That's
no,
right.
you can't,
Triglavian
right?
only.
Yeah, and that would be the only, unless they went and changed the way reps work now for other things, it would only be because they would create like this Triglavian, repair
Well,
module that you could then put on other ships, and that's how it would work. But
Yeah,
that-
it's
fuck that
limited on
noise.
hull. Yeah.
But I mean, like, you can use the reps on any ship, but the thing is, like, one of the biggest things that the biggest problem Logis have is defending against Alpha, And if you have a lower amount of rep that spools up to a higher amount of rep later, that is not stopping any alpha. And right now,
Alpha.
So I don't see those ships getting used a whole bunch.
I
don't feel like they're going to be
this,
that effective.
This Logi shift's being used in more small gang shit. I mean,
And-
Could be.
And I
I
think
don't
that's what so Rise made that comment because I was like, why would we use this in a fleet? He goes, it's not meant to be used in a fleet. But I
Yeah,
see your point, Drayden, of like it would be a lot cooler if I had the opposite effect of like repping like 200%, but then the next cycle it's like 175%, and then it goes down. Because in that way, because there's a huge like me flying in big fleet battles or whatever, it's like it sucks when you have the alpha. So like that's why hacks are so useful with that assault damage control. Because like if you're paying attention like you should, you hit that. The enemy shoots you for a while, you catch Logi reps, and then you should live. So now the tactic is just to shoot the Logi ship, so it's like, okay, the person who wins the fight or whatever is the person who brings more Logi that has to be chewed through before you aren't focused the hacks. Or at least that's my limited experience.
The one thing
I
I
would
can see...
hope that this wouldn't transition
Logi
over
is your
to standard
your
Logi.
tank.
No,
I would hope that this would never ever transition over into some form of standard Logi. Like we haven't even figured out what's wrong with I want to. Okay, we know what's wrong. What's wrong is too many. It's n plus 100 as far as Logi goes. But
there's a cap though. There's a cap where eventually
the solution to it, the fix to it, the kind of how do you make this kind of shit right? But before you introduce something where it's where it's this freaking scale up shit.
There's a cap on both sides. I mean, there's a point to where if you have enough alpha, it doesn't matter how many Logi they have, you're going to kill it because you're going to kill it before they can lock
that's the
rep.
whole point of alpha.
That's the whole point of alpha. There's also a cap to Logi though, because there gets to a point. It's like if you can rep a ship's entire health bar from like 1% to 100% in one cycle, you're at adding more Logi at that point is basically just adding a buffer to where as you take Logi losses, you're not losing that max cap rate. And so, but at that point, it's kind of like
we haven't played that game in a long time. We haven't played that game in a long time where it's not about alpha. It's all about fucking alpha.
Yeah.
And Logi's the reason, I think. Well, no, because you know what? Even if they took Logi away at this point, I believe there was a time in the game, okay, when weapon systems other than high alpha type stuff, especially for fleet. And I'm talking fleet here. I'm not talking. I'm not talking
early
small game.
Before 08 days, like 08. I'm gonna say 06, 08, kind of the time frame is where you could fly whatever battleship you wanted to. We do sniper RR battleship gangs that didn't really work. We just kept buying new battleships and coming out to the field. Like before Logi was a thing, like before they fixed the Logi, I shouldn't say fixed it. Before they changed the Logi, there was a lot more losses. I think pre-Logi fixes where it was RR battleships and stuff like that. I'm gonna say that's probably 06 to 08, maybe on where we would just fight each other glass cannons against glass cannons.
Well, what I'm saying is that there was a period where brawler warfare did take place, right? But that's pretty much gone now. I mean, the idea of large scale kind of brawl warfare is just gone. We went through a whole period there where it was about again counting Logi. Do we even have enough damage to be able to break their Logi with an alpha fleet that we're going to bring, right? But pretty much everything now is about and again, I'm talking about nullsec and I'm talking about large scale warfare. It's all about max applied instant damage. Everything else kind of runs away, but that is the business of nullsec grind warfare. Sovereignty warfare is just massive fleets of high alpha damage.
Yeah,
right.
I could be wrong, but
that's why Minmatar reigned for a long time.
And no, I've noticed it. I just find it super annoying, I guess, from my perspective of like, I don't know, I did solo small gang, always playing the underdog, and I don't know, I guess when I play Eve, I don't play it to press F1, I play it for like dominance and strategy, and the whole like N+1 or have enough alpha, and there's not really anything you can do besides hope your alpha beats the enemy alpha. I really wish, I honestly don't know a solution for it, but I wish it would shift in some way in that meta.
I'm not sure what the solution is either, because the solution is not necessarily killing Logi or anything like that. It's because at this point, I think it's become so ingrained that people will still fly the alpha anyways, and they will end up looking at side notes. By the way, you didn't see my Imperium tweet, right? I said you're going to be late. Parentheses to the show.
Oh my god.
I said I said
I
may or may not.
I didn't even catch that part of the
parentheses
tweet.
show. the show. Anyways, I feel as though we wouldn't even go back to it. I just feel as though the whole idea of short range and kind of brawler warfare is sort of gone from the game in anything other than
solo and small game.
I don't want to say solo
or
small
hot
gang. Certainly solo, certainly small gang. You can probably move it up the line from there, a bit. But once you start getting into the organized fleet kind of, composite warfare that we have, it's all about alpha. It's all about alpha, and it's all about, trying to get those reps on and making sure that the other side doesn't have enough alpha. And I don't know.
It's all about minimum lodging. You need to have 1/5 ratio, etc., 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 etc.
Now you gotta go 2 logi for every 1 DPS. Only way
anyways,
you can win.
so,
just like everybody has a Titan needs a Fax, everybody that has a DPS ship needs a Guardian. That's just how it is.
But it will be interesting to see how these, how these ships, I don't know, how they work, whether or not people dig them. I mean, and again, not everything has to be built, and certainly there are probably a lot of times, most of the times, quite frankly, when the ships that they build don't necessarily have to be tailored for nullsec warfare.
I mean, take the oracles and taluses and things like that. They were really quickly used and then replaced with T3Cs and then T3Cs and now.
Do you remember that 6-month period? That 6-month period was a lot of fucking fun, man.
When you could just drop taluses on people at 0 and just
tornadoes, fleets. It's like, man, people were using the shit out of that stuff. Well, and then it was like 6-9 months later, boom, gone.
Yeah, it was.
and it was a good time.
Yeah, that was. Was that Crucible? When those came out, something like that. Either Crucible or the one before it. But the Naga and Tornado fleets were like all I saw when I first came into the game. And those were fun because it was a cat and mouse tactical. Like if you got in and landed at a good spot and you popped a few shots off, you could blow up a bunch of stuff. But if you got too close or didn't get out fast enough and got bubbled, you were all dead.
Your entire fleet was dead.
Yeah.
Which was the fun of it. I don't know how many fleets I died. I never was on the better side of that. I was always on the side of the fleet because that was back when we were out with PNG and and all that kind of stuff out in the drones and whatnot. But yeah, I mean the one thing you'll hear when they go to rebalance something, we see such and such ship class or such and such ship or whatever isn't getting enough love. You know what? Not everything needs to get the same amount of love.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like there should be some ships that are out there that are just simply better for small gang type stuff.
Well, there's going to be some situational ships
than being general freaking fleet fleet type ships.
There's going to be niche ships. There's going to be situational ships. Not everything has to be balanced to the point. I mean, it's hard to balance. I mean, we've proven that over the last decade of this game. It's hard to balance.
They can't balance with the number of ships in the game.
Well, I feel like most of the races
all they can do
balance,
is make changes.
All the races can balance other than Minotaur because of the alpha shit. I feel like most of the races can balance.
But let's see here. Let's say abyssal jump mechanics have been significantly changed to allow for invulnerability while using Triglavian gates. This affects interabyssal travel during the PvE sequence, interabyssal travel from PvE to PvP, and abyssal to origin jump to known space. While previous mechanics were by design, after listening to player feedback, we spent some time reworking this travel system to allow for this invulnerability.
What it's saying is when you hit to jump out and then you die when you're in fucking K space or J space, for no reason other than the game's fucking buggy as shit, they're fixing it.
Well, hold on. That doesn't seem what that seems to be saying. It's talking about invulnerability. It's talking about invulnerability.
Yeah, they're making you invulnerable because you used to be able to just die in the warp tunnel, even though you clicked it with 30 seconds to go. But hey, CCP is really fucking shitty at some of this crap. And so people would die when they beat Abyssal and jumped out into K-Space.
And that's more than just it's not like latency on their end. It's just the servers didn't register.
It's literally the
it's
game
a matter of
fucks
just
you
because
over.
you punch the cherry red button to say activate gate doesn't mean that there's not some
So,
time delay
no.
in that
So
gate
think about
actually
it.
activating and working
If
you
you
out.
are in the warp tunnel from point A to point B on a gate, can somebody smart bomb you? Can they bomb you? Can they
No,
lock
once
and
you're in the
kill
warp
you?
tunnel,
No.
you're
So
supposed to be
therefore, when you're in the
out
warp
of the
tunnel,
system.
yeah, you should be safe.
Right.
Which is how CCP is aligning it with everything else.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab my other bottle.
It would have been nice. It would have been nice if, kind of like in that, they just sort of acknowledged that this was, what it was for, right? As opposed to sort of standard gate invulnerability, because this kind of sounds like when you jump through a gate, right? You're invulnerable for a little while.
And it wasn't like that previously in Abyssal. So what we had happening, and it was like a really big bug, was people would hit it and then like timer would count down and they'd be like stuck in tunnel warp or whatever. Sorry, I'm eating. And that would like kill them. But there'd be also instances of people landing like in cave space, like they'd be in a system with stations, like not in abyssal space, and they would still die because the timer ran out. And people were like, this is unreasonable. Like, why the fuck am I dying in my 5 billion ship when I beat it and warped out? And CCP was like, oh, abyssal space, no refunds. And so they're finally fixing it because people were like,
space, no refunds.
yeah, like because CCP's servers crash all the time, so people would crash in abyssal space and die, and CCP's like, oh no, abyssal space, no refunds. So they were really focusing on not reimbursing anyone for any reason whatsoever in abyssal space, and people were like, look, this is fucking stupid. Like, I'm not gonna put all this risk in here when I will lose for literally winning the thing. Like, it's absolutely
That doesn't seem
unreasonable
fair,
do
to be
that.
honest.
Yeah, it's punishing people for like no reason at all.
Punishing for them trying the mechanic that they made. That's fantastic.
Hey, risk and reward, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't know when it's going to work or not work, or
Is
whatever.
Drayden in pajama pants?
He is. He's
They're
Is
not
that on
the
camera?
suit top. He's
They're
not full
pajama
breast.
pants. He's wearing red plaid for Christmas.
So
like how
he's
you
not
can see
he's
it
not
on the
full
camera.
breast. He's half breast, like top up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got pajama pants on. Like, I only need to be dressed up from the top
Have
up.
you ever heard of suit separates?
Dude, why would I wear slacks when you guys don't see
be
my
honest
pants
with you,
anyway?
I expected him when he said I'm gonna wear a suit to show up like the pajama suit with like the fake,
You
the
just
printed.
have to take them out and get them pressed. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I mean, throw them in the washer dryer.
These are more comfy than slacks anyway. Slacks aren't that uncomfortable, but it's all good though.
Hey, we got Aurora's. Aurora's
Oh.
coming to Eve.
Oh yeah. Well, so they're having a tournament or not a tournament, a competition with
Little
that.
contest.
No contest. Find some cool auroras, get some screenshots of them on the planets, and send them in. You're supposed to put them on Twitter with the hashtag Eve. What was it? Damn it! They said
can
it. I
scroll
watched
back.
the pulse thing today. And it was on the pulse.
Yeah.
Crap. Do you remember, Rain? Well, I'll
Pulse
find
thing?
it.
Yeah, they said it in the first one with Antiquarian.
No. The thing today.
The
that-
contest.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
today?
Yeah, but what's the
yeah,
hashtag?
they put a new
People
pulse
are
out today
supposed
with
to-
Guard. It was hashtag Eve is beautiful. That's what
Oh,
they're
okay.
hashtag
Oh,
Eve is beautiful. Thank you, chat. They're on top of it more than I am. But I do. It's like I was like I gotta remember that because I'm
Chat,
gonna need
keep
to say it
feeding
on the
us things to
show,
talk
and then
about, thank you.
when it comes time to say it, I forget it. But yeah. So send screenshots in with that on Twitter, and they're gonna be picking all the ones they like the best, and I'm assuming you'll get some prizes. My guess is it might be some Triglavian skins, some of the new ones. That would be a hopeful guess.
I agree, Chainsaw. I play in fucking potato mode too. I just don't even give a fuck. Don't care what it looks like.
Oh no!
As long as I
I'm sure
I
it's-
load
I'm sure
grid,
it's
it's
beautiful.
all good.
I'm sure
I
it's
can't play
beautiful,
potato
but like
mode.
in the whole performance versus visual, it's like I'm always going to be on the performance side of things. I just am. So I like never. I pretty much never take it out of kind of fleet warfare mode other than show brackets.
Oh no, I play in like maxed out graphics. The only time I'll turn it down is if the fight is so big that I'm actually worried my client will crash because it's like they're 32-bit clients, so it's like if the 4 gigs of RAM
Right.
just isn't enough to handle what's going on the screen, I will turn it down, just because I don't want my client to crash. But other than that, I like the visuals.
No, I agree, dude. I usually I run potato mode if things get a little bit like 1,000+ people dudes.
It's like and I'm always surprised. It's like I'll log in in a different client where it's like I don't have it set up for that and whatnot, and I'll be like, whoa, it's much crisper, and it's like whatever. But like I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm sorry. I just don't care about Auroras. I care about whether or not, it's like I die or, not or whatever. But
The
let's
eventual
hear-
64-bit client.
This is a special notice for everyone out there, because this will apply to many of you. The Atana Special Edition Tournament Prize Ship now has hull geometry and animation distinct from the other Caldari Osprey class hulls.
That's Lemaine, shooter. Go fuck yourself.
So that's another thing you won't notice if you're in potato mode.
It's another thing you
The
won't
ship
notice. It's another thing
animations.
most of you won't notice at all.
Well, I mean,
You'll
like,
never-
I
you'll
don't
never
think
notice
Atanas
it.
are really flown that often. So it's like the few people in the Alliance tournament, if they zoom in on it, you'll see
The
it.
funny part is too. So they mentioned they made the geometry different. Well, I don't know if that affects the way it warps, but I'm pretty sure Natana's never really warped. Because in theory, you keep it in a station, you're teleported to Jove space for the Alliance tournament,
It
Yeah,
never
but
and then
works.
you can't warp, and so you either die or live. And then
I
you're
thought they
teleported
warped
back.
onto the grid, though.
No, you don't warp. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, they warp onto the grid
Yeah,
at
they
certain
do.
ranges.
They do.
So, but the thing is, like, they're not zoomed on any particular ship until they've already all landed. So you don't get to see
Yeah.
the warp mechanics.
So the one person, if it is the warp mechanics, then it's
You know
like
who's
the
really
one
happy
person.
about this?
yeah, we're
Blue
on
Melon.
USMC. He's like, that's really interesting to the 6 people that own them. That's pretty much true.
I was gonna say PL's really interested in this, but then I thought, no, I think Blue Melon's really happy with this. He's super happy with this change. Somebody should like send him a regular mail. Yeah, for all of you out there who are wondering, they've changed the Stasis Webifier drones market group from combat utility to electronic warfare drones.
I wish they would
Just in case you're looking.
fix those things to where they are actually good.
I
'Cause
agree.
I
agree
like
with
it.
you.
They
agree.
would be really useful.
The
I think, in
stacking
some situations.
penalty applies to like the 4 aside from the first one. So it's like the first one is shittier than just a normal web, and then the rest just basically don't do anything. It's like they need to change that.
Utility drones need a rework. Well,
Yeah,
like,
they need
just
to get rid of
address it, dude.
the stacking penalties for the drones, because the drones are weak enough that if you apply all the drones, it's about as good as a module, which should be. Or no, it's not as good as a module, but it should be about as good as a module. Maybe a little bit better since you're applying a full drone rack.
I think 5 drones should be equal to a module.
Yeah, or maybe slightly better. If you're like meant to be a drone ship, like your drones are your weapon, and if you're using them for disruption instead, it should be a bit more powerful. Since a full-fledged drones is probably more powerful than, normally a couple guns.
That's fair.
But
I
as
don't
of
know
right now,
about
it's
that,
shit. Like there's no reason to use them other than like maybe the ECM drones.
Let's hear. They're coming out with more mutadaptive modules, whatever the fuck these things
No,
are.
those
Yeah,
are the rep ones.
the
Those
the
are
trig,
rep ones.
the trig ones. Yeah, they're coming out with the rep, the armor reppers, right? Blah blah. Yeah, armor reppers, remotes and local. No, are they all remote? They're all remote.
No remote. No,
They're all
no
remote,
local.
yeah.
They just want to do it remote for the
One
logic.
per ship. One per ship. Even though they're coming out with these things, they're limiting it to 1 per ship. They only fit to. Oh shit! And you can only fit them to the Triglavian cruisers for now.
Yep.
Okay.
Which I think Rain said earlier. Yeah, they're just trying to like they're not good. They're not meant for fleet fights. I'll tell you that right now.
Yep. Maybe we can talk about it again if you want. Dirk's still reading.
No.
I'm gonna do a shot for.
I skipped past the limited. Once I saw limited to 1 per ship before, like I skipped. I didn't put the 2 and 2 together with what it was you were saying before.
Oh, okay.
That's all. So now I'm going down a little bit further to actually look at the stats for what these increase remote repair amount by 10% for each additional active cycle. Increase remote repair caps at 150%. Okay.
Ron, is that true that he's actually selling those now?
What are we doing a shot for?
He has other ships he's selling.
Auroras. No, Auroras.
Just because, dude.
just
Here we
because.
go. Just because
we
it's
need a
Friday,
reason.
we're kicking for another week. Boom.
Anasir, I was like, I don't know how Briss does it. I'm overheating, and Anasir's like, apply
Oh, my
paste.
waistline. Do a shot for my waistline.
Yay, the best.
And Kigary's, I have no soul to die in the first place. I'm a ginger, so.
Tell Mrs. McGurk that I love her and I miss her.
Look at him yell. You wanna say hi? Honey, come say hi.
Hi.
She says hello.
Hi.
I'm like, it's Israeli bodyguard.
the gang. She was my buddy in Vegas.
Dre 2. But okay, hold on.
Yeah. So, anyways, glad she made it home. Oh my god, I fucking hate it now. Ever since when was it? Was it last winter or whatever when she got into that car accident, like coming back or whatever?
Was that last winter?
Now
it was this year for some reason.
It was this year, but like during the, I think it was
okay.
like
it's
February or whatever.
Something like that.
It's like now it's like whenever she's coming or going or whatever, and I hear like the only reason that anybody would ever call the house phone is because we haven't given them our cell, but they have the home number, or it's her, especially this time of night or whatever. It's like I hear I hear the house phone ring like like just before showtime or something like that. I'm going, oh my god, because she knows that like I don't always just pick up my cell or whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I become
I don't even have a house phone
nervous
anymore.
ninny. I know.
Like, me and the
younger
wife, we
generation.
have our cell phones, and like, if you don't have those numbers, we don't care. So,
you younger generation not having your landline.
yeah, why would we want to pay $60 or whatever it is for a landline? Jeez.
I'm wondering because my niece, I don't know if she's ever seen like a corded landline.
No house phone. How do you fax? How do you fax and print on thermal paper?
Pagers.
Most people these days don't fax with paper. It's just by email. Just saying.
Do pagers even work nowadays? Would that
Yeah, they
still
do.
Work?
They do.
Do they?
My
People
boss,
still use them?
68 years old, owns a company, has a pager.
What's the point of it?
He's just old
only
school,
bitches
dude.
had pages back in the
I
day.
mean, back before cell phones,
Hey,
they made
I had a
sense.
fucking
But
pager. I had a prepaid phone when my parents were like,
pimps
"Yo,
could
here's your
make
phone."
calls. Bitches had to have a pager.
yeah, I mean, like, yeah, before cell phones, it made sense. Now, it's
Yo,
it's
if
outdated
dude needed an ounce of weed, man, pager's the best way to go.
See, and we never went through that whole period of burner pagers. Technology moved too quickly, apparently. It skipped over the whole idea of burner pages. Oh, shit.
doctors.
Anyways, what do we got? Oh, yeah, so the tech one's the Rodiva, and the other one's like the
Can we
Zhivangali
skip
or
forward
something.
to the best part of this?
Hold on, I'm scrolling down. I know what you're trying to get to, and I'm just like trying to avoid like actually getting there too quick. But now that I'm like 2 shots into this, I'm probably like,
Let's do it,
should probably
Derek.
I
Let's
should
do it
probably
now.
do this. I should probably
do
do
it.
the-
Let's do
I should
it.
probably do the fucking drama piece, piece right. If there's
Yeah.
anybody who wants to fucking come on and talk, just let people come on and fucking talk. It's like, oh look, there's Hyper Viper. Drag Hyper Viper up here.
Hyper Viper.
I'm not saying just anybody. I'm just saying, hey, look, if you got something to say, fucking 1-800 call me.
Speaking of which, you're like, oh, let's grab this random dude.
Blah 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 blah.
Caller, you're on the air.
What the fuck?
Like,
See, I still
tell us your story, sir.
In all of the years that we've been doing this show, that is the one thing I really wanted to do from time to time. I really wanted to be able to have that whole fucking call-in thing,
Maybe we could
Oh,
set up like a
we
phone
just signed a
line.
contract, so you should at least do this a dozen more times.
Yo,
than
we should have
callers.
just given your home number out, Drayden.
Well, like I'm saying, like set up
Or
maybe
your-
like
your
a
cell phone
maybe
app
like an
and, like-
off Skype, and then people could Skype in,
Hyper Viper, are you an
and
FC?
then we could call. They could call in and like put them on.
yeah.
But I don't know how. Like,
I heard
I'd
it
have
pretty
to have
bad.
Are you
digital audio cables.
132nd best FC?
Ooh.
I'm probably about 152nd at this point, to be
I
honest.
mean, if Asher's like
Wow.
20, what's Asher at now?
23rd.
So Hyper Viper's at least 21st.
Oh, jeez. That's one way to get myself kicked out of Skirmish Rangers.
wait, because you're not sucking the dick? I mean, what? Oh, sorry.
Fuck it, let's just go to war deck changes. Hey, they're band-aiding war decks.
I like it.
Kind of.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
it seems
Wait,
good.
hold on. I'd now like to introduce Mr. Grath Telkit.
Oh,
What's
that's
up,
Grath.
What
Oh,
fuck
what's
you
up?
mean next
Hey,
week is
Graf.
your last show?
Oh, Sir Grath.
Next week's
boss
my last
man.
show. Like, yeah.
Oh, what
I'm
are you
gonna-
quitting?
I'm gonna seriously try and victory lane this bitch.
What are you quitting for? What do you got to be disappointed in?
I know, really. Just my own willingness to fucking want to play. But yeah. And this is too, whatever. Yeah. Anyways.
So I like the new changes a lot. I think it gives the ability to new groups to form and flourish, and then jump in the deep end and get gobbled up when they leave
Agreed.
HiSec.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but seriously, let's be honest here, right? This is a Band-Aid. This is not.
I mean, how do you see it's a Band-Aid?
Which is why I'm going to be interested to see, because number one, they said that they're going to iterate on that, and this right here is the temporary fix for whatever people want to perceive to be, and I say perceive to be because different people think about this in different ways, the pain point of the current war deck system. But they have said that they are going to be changing this over the course of, I'll have to find over the course of what, but like
Months. I think
we'll span multiple releases in the coming months.
I mean, I think that was the point though, is they wanted to implement something to stop the bad negative effects of war decks, but this wasn't the quote unquote end all be all of war deck solutions.
No. But I think it helps at least gives the opportunity for new groups to flourish and at least get out on their own, and then they can decide when
I think that's bullshit about the whole new group idea.
No, I don't
because
think
number
so
one,
either.
They have evidence against it, Dirk. Sorry,
Yeah.
No.
stated
It's not necessarily
they
they have
have
evidence against.
stated
Hold
that
on.
new players would join something, get in fucking war decked, and then leave.
He said new group. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
new players
necessarily
can
new
start a
player.
group.
Okay. The evidence I don't believe is there for the whole new bro comes into game. Somehow war decks him unless he joins existing long-term HiSec group and then they get war decked. Like, this is not an anti-new bro thing.
If you in this day and age, if you're going to form a group and you want to go to nullsec, there's no point in forming it in HiSec to just move to nullsec. That's not going to work. You'll get.
Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
you're good. Sorry, good.
I think what a lot of us veterans suffer from is the Eve syndrome. We're so goddamn paranoid about every little new bro. Not like, oh, this is new bro. No, it's fucking spy probably. But it's like,
No, I agree. Like, Eve's at the point now where you need to embrace dudes, and if they're new, if they're a spy, fuck them. Let them join your fleet too. Who cares? I mean, it's like...
Besides, the new bro quit a long time ago. He flew through Nyarja in a fucking hauler and got all his shit blown up and rage quit the game then.
with the 10 bill in his freighter.
Right. That wasn't even a new bro, right? Like, imagine
I
like
doubled
a new
his
player.
disc and he left. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, the problem here is less new bros who are still finding their way, kind of throughout things, right?
I think it's
And
groups that want.
and more kind of the people that have moved past new bro status, decided to join up with somebody, gotten into it, and then found out how oppressive the current war deck system could be, for their organization, and then quit. Yeah, I'm not saying they're veterans, okay? Although, look, I think that this has been.
I think it's for
the
HiSec
current war deck
mining
system has
groups.
been hard for even
Agreed.
veterans trying to do things in HiSec, if HiSec is their thing.
Yeah, it's.
So-
I think it's for HiSec mining groups because they just want to go out there and mine or rat or do whatever they're doing, and they don't want to deal with the war decks.
I
Now
mean-
they don't have to. But the thing is, they can't own a structure, so now they're going to have to use other people's structures at
But
prior
not
higher
really,
tax
because
rates and
this
stuff.
is what you do, right? So if you're a HiSec mining group, you just put that structure in a different corp, right?
But
And
then
you
that
just set
corp
it
can get war
ACL.
decked, and now you have to defend that, or it's
So
gonna get
what?
lost.
But then you
So-
don't lose any. I mean, you lose
Well,
it, but
hold
you
on.
don't lose it, right?
You
They can
know
do
what
it
you're
at
going
the
to lose.
same-
You're basically going, okay, and then so let's cut back a little bit. Let's go back to what it is they're doing here. Basically, your corp or your alliance has to own a structure, any fucking structure from Poco, on to Keepstar, right?
I didn't think of
Anywhere
Poco
in the
did.
game, you got it.
Right.
You have a fucking Sotillo in a fucking wormhole. Boom, you are war deck eligible. Okay.
Well, I think
you have a
Wormhole-
Keepstar out in wherever, you are war deck eligible. You've
Right.
got to own a structure no matter where it is in the game.
So I'm waiting for that first alliance to put all their structures into an alt corp or an alt alliance or whatever, and then
However,
have run
it's
into the
not
same
just to
problem
get
Test ran
war
into when they had
deck,
their
It's
HiSec,
not just it's not just to get war deck though. It is also to be able to defend on a war deck.
or initiate
Okay.
war decks.
Hold on, hold
Well,
on.
you can always offer
It's not just about
services.
initiating war decks. It's also about what do they call it? Helping somebody else who's
Oh,
been
yeah,
war
yeah.
decked.
Yeah, allied in
Al-
offer help or whatever.
Yeah.
the
Okay.
BS term is.
You can't do that either. Okay. So
Right.
you can go and put all your shit in there and just know that, well, then it's going to die. because you're not going to be able to take all your guys, if you have guys, right? Or people or players or whatever, whatever the fuck the word is these days, and sit there and go, oh, well, you know what? Once that other corp over there, well, we'll just join into the war. No, you can't just join into the war if you don't have a structure in the game. So you cannot be war decked, you cannot war deck, you cannot be an ally in a war deck.
I'm a little surprised they didn't add an opt-in option to where it's like, I don't own a structure, but I would like to opt in to allow my alliance or corporation to war deck.
So all of a sudden now you want to be involved in the war deck
here's the thing. Here's the reason why I think they didn't do that, because that's exactly what the war decking, like Marmite and all those.
But that's optional. If you're like, I don't want to be a war deck and I don't own a structure, then you don't opt in, and then it's like, now you can't be war deck. But what if there's people that
you don't want to be war deckable? You cannot participate in wars. Period.
Yeah, because the whole thing about the win agreement, I think now, is if one side loses all their structures, then the war is done. If the other side doesn't have any structures, well, then what's the point?
But it can keep going on if it's mutual. If it's mutually accepted on both sides. So,
like any high-sec group's going to want to have a mutual...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess I'm being devil's advocate for, like, the small, probably niche group of a few groups that are out there. But it's like, what if there's, like, they're a high-sec, they want a PvP, they want to do war decking, but they don't necessarily want to own structures and upkeep them. Like, I guess they can just go buy a Poke or buy a...
Red versus Blue is a good example.
Because it's like, they're just like, we just want to war deck people and fight, but we don't want to have to own anything. So they could just opt in and be like, can we just be like war deck accessible or valid without having to own anything?
Dirk, I have stomach aids. I will come back for your show next week. And,
all right, bro.
I think you're full of shit and you're not quitting, but what do I know?
No, he's been preaching this for a minute, man. We've been trying to talk him out of it, but
I'm just gonna message his wife like I do every night before bed and tell her that she's not allowed to let him quit.
Legit tell her she needs to tie him to the desk. And...
I understand. Well, I just have a simple pitch that you don't want to deal with him all the time. Think of all the time he spends with us, and then now he's going to spend that with you. Good luck, lady. He'll be back on the computer in like 6 to 10 hours.
Brutal.
Feel better, bro. I'll see you next week.
All right, see ya.
Dirk's like, get him out of here.
No, he said he was sick. Anyways, I do want to go on to this whole introducing war eligibility thing, because I think it's important, because I saw some people over in Talking in Stations chat a couple days ago or whenever the hell this thing came out, talking about, oh, well, you'll just hide all your shit over in here. And then if somebody war decks it, you'll just, no. If you are not war deck eligible to begin with, you cannot participate in a war.
I don't think he was saying...
You could drop out of the corp you're in and join the one that's being... But you can't just become... So, in this first set of changes coming next week, we're introducing the concept of war eligibility for corporations and alliance. If a corporation or alliance is war eligible, it will be able to declare wars, have wars declared against it, and joining existing wars as an ally of the defender. If a corporation or alliance is not war eligible, it will not be able to declare wars or have a war declared against it. The iteration of war eligibility is tied directly to structure ownership. If a corporation or alliance owns at least one structure in space anywhere in EVE, then it will be war eligible. The location of the structure does not matter for war eligibility at this time. Structures that count are all Upwell structures, Starbase control towers while they still exist, player-owned customs offices, POCOs, or sovereignty structures like iHubs or TCUs. If at least one corporation within an alliance owns a structure in space, their war eligibility extends to the entire alliance. This is all pretty fucking simple stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think what they're saying is not to be a part of the war, is that you put the structure ownership in an alt corp. So that all they can do is war deck that alt corp, but your main corp...
No. Hold on. If that corp is part of your alliance...
You don't have to be in alliance with them. They just have to set you...
It's all ACL.
Okay. Right. Then you cannot be an ally if you don't have any structures that meet that criteria.
But they can give you docking access.
In your alliance... What?
You can get docking access to the structure and not be allied.
Yes, you can.
And so you can still use the structure, and they can't kill your pilots. And so all they can do is war deck the corp that owns the structure, your alt corp,
destroy the
structure, but they can't kill your pilots. Right.
Well,
And
yeah,
that,
you just throw down some T1 ECs, and you're like, oh, let's have some fun with it. We give basically all the same benefits, zero taxes, whatever, to their members in all their corp. But that's fine.
They'll gain
I'm
the
fine with
benefit
that.
of it, but they just will. It will just have to be a written off asset, right?
Yeah,
basically, yeah.
Or you have the one place in like the deep, the high sec islands and low sec, where you have structures.
The vacation homes.
Yeah, the vacation homes.
But I mean, the thing is, like, even doing that method, if a group was really like, if they knew what your main group was and that your alt was owning the structure that you guys are all using, they could still kind of, because they're like, we'll kill that one because you guys won't be able to defend it, and then we'll never let them put another one up because the second they put another structure up, we'll kill that too, and eventually it's like it's not griefing the pilots out of the game because they're not getting blown up. But it's basically making it to where like they have to use other people's structures and they can't use their own.
Here's what it's saying. If you want to be one of the groups out there that just want to do your fucking thing, short of putting up a structure, you'll be able to do that and not be able to be war decked under the current iteration coming on Tuesday. All right. If you want to avoid war decks without going into an NPC corp or fucking logging off, this is what you'll do. You won't have access to all of the fun things in game that maybe you want to because you're saying, but because if I own real estate, they can come and hit me.
Well, because that's a growing pain. That's a growing pain of an
it's a growing
organization. And I think that's great. Now, the only thing that I think I would like to see that isn't included, but I don't even know if anybody introduced it or asked about it. But the fact, like, if I get war decked by, say, Marmite on my shitty little high sec corp, because I put up an EC because I want to see how it goes with my guys. Well, if they war deck me, how am I going to find out where their structure is to attack that? See, I think they should really introduce something with locator agents, that if a group declares war against you, you're able to send an agent to find the location, or at least the system of where their structure is. Because otherwise, you're going to have Marmite throwing a POS, or not a POS, an EC in some random C1 wormhole and getting access to be able to war deck everybody, and nobody will be able to attack their structure so they can technically lose.
True. And that's exactly, well, I'm going to assume that that's exactly what you're going to have out there with some of these groups and whatnot. But they've got to have a structure someplace just to be war eligible, right? So therefore, Marmite is going to find a way, and other groups are going to find a way to be war eligible so that they can war deck
throw up a
others.
super cheap structure.
However, it is quite simple for you to be able to avoid being war decked. Don't own a fucking structure.
Not with your characters or with your main group.
Not with anybody within your corporation or your alliance.
Yep. Now,
simple.
So I'm wondering. Here's another thing I was.
And if you don't want to be war decked, you shouldn't bitch about the fact that you can't put up a Fortizar or something. You can't put up a fucking Ritaru someplace. Oh my god, your fucking game's gonna be fucking. Oh my god, which do you want to fucking bitch about? The fact that you were getting your ass smacked around before. If you do want to be able to have those things, then make yourself war eligible.
Well, it's like there's Freeport ones of those anyway. So it's like if you want to be a group that doesn't own a structure, but you still want to be able to use those structures, there's free-ported ones of those out there. Like the tax might be a little bit more than what you're on.
Go use an NPC station.
That's the price of being safe. But the thing is,
I heard.
So really quick,
go use an NPC station or a publicly accessible structure of the type that you're looking to use. That is capable of being defended by the people who are obviously saying, "Fuck it, I'm war deckable."
Well, also on the flip side, so it gives the people that are getting war decked a possible out for defense, because if the group that's war decking them, if they're like a PvP group in high sec that is just out to war deck, and they maybe they only put up one structure because they want to be able to war deck people. Well, if you kill that structure, the war ends in 24 hours. So you might be able to hire a mercenary group. It's like all you guys have to do is go kill that.
If that's your only structure.
Right.
So if that's your only structure.
If that's your only, so it's like if you own no more structures, the war ends 24 hours after that. So that could be a defense to where, like, I don't know if it's going to happen, but maybe mercenary groups in high sec will be like, hey, you want the war to end? We can go kill these two structures over here these guys have, and they will. And then
let's also remember what we said at the beginning. This is a Band-Aid. This is the initial thing that is supposed to kind of, stem the. This is the freaking bandage on the wound, right? It is not the fucking surgery that is supposed to take place over apparently multiple releases coming in the future. So apparently they have some idea of where they kind of want to take things, but this is the way of stemming the problem right now. As we always say with fucking, the devil's in the details of what it is they're going to bring out, right? Because this right here, we can completely recognize, yeah, this is the way that you, like, you know, completely tamp down on war decks for now. But what's coming next?
You know, I honestly don't even know what they could. Except for some of the things like, you know, being able to find other structures or making it so only structures in known space allow you to have war decks. I don't know.
They have this, like, when you read it, they've got some sort of freaking dream about, well, if we make this like multifaceted kind of way of like having victory conditions, it's like, holy shit, dudes.
I just can't wait until
that
the people
shit
that
just doesn't work. Like, it's never gonna freaking
dudes.
work. It's gonna be horrible.
Well, I'm waiting for the people that said, "Oh, well, you can't war deck me. Why am I getting ganked? That's obviously against the terms of service." And blah blah blah.
I mean, those people just don't know what the terms of service are.
Yeah, I know.
Ganking is absolutely the way freaking crime should happen in, you know, violence should happen, you know, in high sec. I mean, that is the way that it should. They are going to have the same significant problem trying to create War Deck 4.0 or whatever the hell it is, you know, to where it actually makes sense for them to try and like create the whole idea behind. I'm just going to be surprised. I'm going to be surprised if they can actually fucking pull it off.
I think, you know, I have a feeling, at least a guess, you know, rough guess, that the merc groups are going to move from war decking to actually ganking. And I think it's
ganking's a different business though, bro. I mean, it's
no, I know it is, but like they're gonna lose like Marmite. I mean, they're gonna still have the whole gank, you know, Black Legion, Goon Swarm, Test. Everybody's gonna be war decked like that. They're gonna get the special people that don't know that there's war decks. But you know, I think it's gonna dry up, and they might just lose interest.
Yeah, I mean, like,
move on to something else.
Ganking is a different beast. I mean, like, you've got to go out there. You know, this is what we're doing. We're ganking, and you know, we're having to look at this from the perspective of, you know, no longer are our ships free because we know that our ships are going to die. Therefore, we have to take it. Like, it is the way that violence should happen in high sec. You know, which is basically, you know, you commit a crime and you know you get fucking capital punishized. But you know, the war deck side of things, those guys may adapt to it. Okay, they may adapt to, you know, ganking being their style and things like that, and maybe they've been doing some of that on their own.
There's so
anyways.
many structures in high sec. There's not going to be a shortage of targets to war deck with these new parameters.
Oh, sure there will. Sure there will.
There'll be less, but there's not going to. It's like there's going to be a ton of citadels and structures out in high
not
sec.
every miner you come across in a freaking belt, you know, is going to be a potential, no,
not every single one,
corporation or alliance that
there's
going to
be
war
plenty.
deck to go after that guy later on.
Like there's going to be almost every system has some kind of citadel or industrial complex in it, and you could go to any system and be like, who owns this? Let's war deck them and let's kill this structure. I mean, like, if that's what you want to do, then that's doable. But yeah, you can't go to every single belt and be like, let's war deck this guy. Like, I mean, that's not going to work. That's
well, somebody's got to clean out the space trash too, because man,
right?
They're just getting way too many citadels systems.
Yeah,
shots.
Well, at least call one like.
I haven't done it yet. I was
not ready, dude.
I know. This is how I end up fucking like nipping off the bottle later on.
Nipping on the net.
This
too. I got a fucking nip on there.
I'm gonna go get my alcohol.
You're gonna go get your alcohol.
I had to eat dinner.
Give me a Swanson
I've
Hungry
been
Man
eating
while you're
and
there.
drinking alcohol.
Yeah, well, I have to be a little more responsible.
More multitasking not available for you.
I know that I'm a contributor
However,
to the space trash in high sec. I put up a Citadel because of one of Manic's commercials. I put the Dr. Friedenhofer whatever fluid cleansing thing. It's just sitting there in low power mode on whatever that system is. It's been there for months, maybe a year.
One of the best things to come from this initial change to war decks is the fact that they are stopping the ability to just be able to donate a structure to whoever the fuck you want to.
Oh yeah.
So basically, things like Pocos or Keep Stars, or structures of any kind, right? Like, remember back in the day, like you could only transfer a station to another corp that was in the alliance itself, and then they came out with these new structures, and they could be like, given to anybody out there and all that kind of shit. Pocos could always be given to anybody out there.
That this system is going to be based on the checkbox. That CCP's checkboxes are so reliable. Thumbs up.
Well, I mean, they haven't been that bad. Like, especially when you talk about if they're implementing something similar to the
Just Rocks.
No, what is that name? Damage to your own corp mates checkbox.
Oh, AWACSing is PvP legal or whatever?
Or is damage to your corp mates legal? I mean, from that standpoint, that wasn't that hard.
Ron.
But I don't know. I mean, it's really gonna be interesting to see how things play out. I think we'll see more people in HiSec, to be honest, with it, which has positives and negatives. But...
I'm wondering if are you saying more people in HiSec because there might be more retention because less people? I'm not in HiSec, so I don't know how often it is that people come into the game and get war decked to shit and quit the game, because I know that happens, but I doubt it's like a significant portion of the player base.
Yeah, but I mean, like, something that I've always thought about redoing. I don't have a corporation that I run anymore, but I always thought it'd be fun to go and restart something in HiSec, get a whole bunch of people don't even know and new people, and kind of, teach them, form them. But I was always like, do I really want to deal with the Wardex? Because I remember being in HiSec, inventions and building stuff and getting war decked, and it was a real pain in the ass.
I was thinking a couple days ago, actually, when this came out, one of the first things that hit me, besides the fact that the best thing out of this whole thing is the fact that they're limiting that whole ability to transfer structures over to other people. You know what I was thinking, Traden?
What's that?
Holy shit, the old corp that we were in back in the fucking day out there in the drone region.
Spectre Syndicate?
Still has 2 fucking Pocos out there.
It's still there? Are you cashing in on it?
I'm gonna have to fucking fly. I think I gotta fly the fuck out there and donate them to somebody right away. So I just want to let goons know they're getting one. And I just want to let fucking Pandemic Legion know that they're getting one.
Well, there was a tax on those, right?
50-50, even with the child support.
Well, I'm just wondering. There's been a tax on those. You've been collecting this whole time. What's the wall?
There ain't no fucking.
If it's been collecting taxes, then why would he?
It's in a dormant corp, but if I ever went back to use that corp for some reason, apparently it's now war deckable because it's got 2 Pocos out in the middle of fucking dick space. You know what, Araya? Fuck it. TNT's got one of those. TNT's getting it instead of.
Poor Wiblo. What will he do? That's fun. But there was one other interesting
Poco
thing.
Out in mad space.
I don't know if we would continue, but I was curious. There was one interesting thing I saw in the patch notes about the changing in the respawn of anomalies. I don't know if that was on the docket.
Where'd you see that?
Oh, yeah, nope. Yeah, right. They're going to address the response, yep.
Yeah, but they didn't say what they were doing or how they were.
Is that in the patch notes?
So
yes.
Yeah,
I logged in today, and all the dudes in my corp were like, "Shit, shouldn't have shoulder worked so fast." Fuck.
That's funny, but that's interesting. I'm curious to see what they do. I mean, obviously, there's been lots of talk in the various Discord channels and Reddit posts galore, like limit resources, make it tougher. F the goons sort of thing. But it's really interesting to see how it affects the overall system. Because if it's making it, right now I think it's between anomalies for ratting, it's like a couple minutes. And if you have like a dozen in the system, it doesn't really matter because by the time you go through them, they'll respawn. But this one, if it's significant, like if we start seeing 30-minute respawn times for anoms, I mean, oof. It'll be different. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Listen, it'll be different. Motherfucker will get by, but it'll be different.
Things change, times change. It'd be different, man.
Well, yeah. Well, see, because here's the.
I just can't find this in the release notes. Where is it?
Dirk, just Control F, anomaly.
Oh my god, woman!
I was expecting the Alt F4 or something.
I was trying to scan it with my eyes and be my old cool self. But yes, if you want me to put glasses on and
I'll just
Somebody just link
Google it.
But you know,
adjustments have been made to the Thank you, Rain. That actually fucking worked really quick.
It's like Google knows stuff.
Oh my god!
Adjustments have been made to
Google
the
it.
respawn rates of
So
certain
something
null
that Bob
of certain
said, like,
null-sec anomalies. For anybody else out there, freaks the fuck out. These adjustments are part of a gradual, ongoing process that will see further tweaks for this type of content.
They're so
Extremely vague.
Yeah,
Super
extremely fucking vague.
So like Bob
Super
said,
vague.
like when the sanctums go down, there'll be like the death match to see who gets that sanctum, who lands first.
Dude.
All the drama that comes with it.
The amount of blue kills that are gonna be skyrocketing because of it. Wibbler's gonna have
the
like
carrier
dozens.
pilots are like, "F you."
Hold on. If they did it in a really fucking thoughtful way, that would be cool. If all they did was put a timer on shit, then it's just like, okay. It's just,
Thoughtful.
Well,
and
it's just
TCG,
like-
Dirk.
But that's what they did with the ore, right? I mean, they just
Well, yeah,
respawn
4-hour
belts.
timers, which is
yeah,
huge.
but
Like,
that,
they can't
but
do
that
that.
was different. That was their first. That was their first venture into the whole, kind of idea of look. Come on, motherfucker!
mining
This
fatigue.
shit should not respawn immediately.
Well, I think it's gonna have the biggest effect on ratting because now mining fatigue is really negligible with the amount of moons you can use.
See,
Well, when
look
they
at
say
that.
anomalies-
Red Rain of Death, all AOX over a sanctum. That's one of my guys. There's a
Well,
fucking
here's the,
typical
here's
incident
the
right
question
there.
here, though. When they talk about the respawn rate of certain null-sec anomalies, like, do we think that this is going back again to the mining anomalies, or do we think that this is going to ratting? I would
It's
say that this was
extremely
the
vague.
ratting anomalies, and they
Dirk,
would have
it's
mentioned mining.
extremely vague. Like it could
Like-
be anything, right? Like
Could be data sites.
yeah, like well, data sites are cosmic sigs because anoms are the greens,
Yeah.
data sites are the reds.
Okay, well, you win that round, Brain.
I feel as though during, now that this
Winner,
is during
Rain.
during the take war decks away from high sec thing, that maybe this is actually going to make null sec anomalies great again,
No,
I mean, they were always
or
better than
greater again.
Yeah,
No,
so
I
they-
don't think so.
No,
I wonder-
it's definitely not going to be a positive. I'm gonna go to that side of it. But I would not say that this has to do with mining anomalies. I would say that this has
But-
to do more with and
Liquidus.
this is their own bad.
So like
with
what I'm gonna say is like
English thing.
if they lessen the anomalies in a certain amount of time, that's gonna like the super ratters, like the dudes that can blow through anomalies and make 500 mil
ratters?
an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's gonna damper on them because dudes are not gonna like that at all.
I think
Well,
in
and
general,
also
what they're
low security systems, which only get maybe 1 or 2 sanctums max. I mean, those are gonna be like worthless because you're gonna have to jump systems at that point.
well,
to
I
make
think
it
that's the
worthwhile.
goal of
Jump
or
systems
changes,
to run
right?
something shittier.
Like I mean, with the
Ugh.
recent like jump bridge changes and whatnot, it kind of seems like they want space to be smaller, as in easier to get from like A to B. And so if they're trying to
Delete
make it
drone
so
lands.
maybe, but the point is, I guess if they're trying to make it so like one giant coalition or like one group of people can't live in one space and be self-sustainable due to like timers or resources or whatever it may be. I don't know. I'm guessing it's timers like we were guessing. But then
Yeah,
it looks like the people are gonna be forced to spread out, which means they're gonna have to take more land, which is gonna force people to have to fight. I'm assuming if some groups are gonna have like blue drama or ratting drama or whatever it may be.
Yeah, maybe but it's gonna be like old Dominion times. I mean, like how many regions did the NC rental space have? It was like 8 regions of rental space. You couldn't do anything.
big.
So it's like we went from Dominion, pushed it smaller, pushed it more local, and now we're just gonna freaking blow it all up. And it's like, oh well, there's not enough space. So unless you want to shoot blues, you gotta take another region.
Well, so if I'm thinking Sov Warfare, has there been a lot of people doing Sov Warfare? Because ever since I heard of Aegis Sov, like it sounds like it's absolutely atrocious to do, and that no matter if you're attacker or defender, people hate it. So maybe this is
So
Well,
like
it depends
it's
on-
all good when you're getting fights until you have to actually burn Sov, because like Horde was really good at it, but like as we learned in the recent thing, like when it comes to doing it, if you don't get a fight, it's not worth it.
yeah.
Well,
it-
you got Fade
sucks.
that got burned down by the Imperium. I mean, all of Drone Lands got pretty much flipped when Skill Yourself and Hard Knocks took it over from and made the X Death homeless. So I mean, there's been a lot of Sov changes since Aegis, but I mean, if you're gonna force people into the Locust fleet style thing, if you want to have to force people to go in supers with Locust fleets at the same time and just burn through entire regions to get all.
Yeah, Ron, you're right. Absolutely, Satios. Like, we're so entrenched in their Sob now. With like, if you go into a system, I haven't been doing a system lately that hasn't had at least 20 like citadels. Period. Who wants to burn 20 citadels out of a system?
Oh.
I sure as hell don't.
Well,
Yeah, Delve is even worse.
I guess the question is, would you have burned 20 pauses out before? Like it depends on
pauses
what
go down a lot
It's
faster
not
than
20
the
heat
Yeah.
stars.
But
No.
It depends on what the citadel. It depends on what
You're
the upwell
talking about
structure.
2 burn
When you say
timers for
citadel, you mean
bosses.
upwell structure, right?
Yeah, upwell
No, that was
structures.
24 hours, right? 24, 48 hours for
One
passes.
day, 16.
Yeah,
and
burning
then
even
actually-
a large
1 to
pause
18.
would go down way faster than the citadels.
Right.
They're like
Which is like
10
3 timers
pauses in
over
a
a
system
week.
you could burn in a
Right.
day and a half, whereas 10 citadels would be holy fuck. Okay.
Well,
Like,
and then some
the
of this
toughest
old
part
vets
about
are-
old Sob was when Boat took a dudes out into a Sob 5 system and burning a pos with max resistances. You know what I mean? That was like
the
the
dick
toughest
stars.
part. Yeah,
Well,
no, not even that. Remember when the old Sob system gave bonuses to system with capital systems?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
some of us old vets still remember the pos Sov and all the fun with that. And grinding
Like
30,
pause
40s.
sovereignty, not pauses as a.
Yeah. Pos sovereignty, where you had to own 51% of the moons in the system to own Sov, which nearly killed
Agreed, Lizard.
many logistics people. Because back then we didn't even have fuel blocks. We had like gotta throw a freaking
Oh my
uranium
God, there were
in
like
there.
Like
six
some
different-
oxygen
things.
isotopes.
6 different elements that you had
Yeah.
to put into the pause. Like all in like different quantities and shit. Like I think there were 2 of them that were the same amount.
I
But it's
tell everybody,
horrible.
I tell a lot of people, and people say, "Yeah, I'm crazy." Like if we had the old pause system with the fuel blocks, I'd be okay with it because not everybody's
because
gonna
how
want to
many
maintain a
Titans we
shit
have
ton of
now?
systems.
Like we have now Titans dropping on all the pods instead of dreads. I remember I don't
Yeah,
know if you
wow.
remember the old trick where if at downtime if you had like Revelation still shooting,
Yep.
went to downtime it kept on shooting
Yeah.
over it.
Really?
Yeah, oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Just the
problem with
revelation.
pause war. The problem with pause sovereignty warfare back
And
in the
it
day
had to be in trio.
was,
I mean, in siege.
was not the fact of like those kind of little intricacies. Was the fact that it felt like wars fell on a very small group of people on each side. Like you could be having battles out there, but the actual sweat that was coming out of logistics. The logistics, I don't even want to say groups, because fuck groups, they didn't really have them.
logistics.
They were those
The
couple
dudes that
of
stayed on
logistics guys we have.
15 hours a day to like make sure the pauses got replaced and the fuel and the jumper just got replaced so you can move your fleet from A to B. Like logistic heroes, and even to this day, man, like pause fuelers and all those dudes that take the time out of their day to do that shit and organize that stuff is far and few between.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
mean,
you
the,
don't last
the
very long.
wars kind of came down to like who got those freaking pauses up, or replaced or whatever, and it was kind of like you were fighting, but like really the war was going on sort of behind the scenes in
Yo,
this
Drayden, you
in
yawn?
this smaller group of people.
Yeah, sorry.
Are you yawning, bro?
No, I just
Bruh.
like
Dude, like loosen your tie. You're yawning.
I know it's
You're
like
cutting-
yawning is a
Blood
lack
to
of
your
oxygen.
brain.
I don't know how people do it. This shit's so tight.
I think we need another shot. 'cause
90
Drayden's
I'm
days
like-
of no sex. Drayden tightens his tie tighter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Like
man.
I just gotta loosen up my buttons.
How did we get off of
Loosen
freaking
up your
nullsec
butt.
warfare when we were dealing with the great threat to Eve that is the war deck?
Well,
And I want to go back to something, and it's way past now, so I'm only going to paraphrase. Sorry, Cheetah XXX.XX. Where he's like, I don't like the fact that this is going away because like there needs to be. Yeah, look, there is a threat in HiSec. The threat in HiSec are other people that want to go kill you. They should not necessarily be able to kill you through this broken fucking mechanism that is war decks. Like, war decks are just a shitty fucking way of turning HiSec basically into nullsec for those people who are on the declaration side. Am I
Amen.
wrong? I
No, that's right.
That's basically what it does, right? It basically takes all the rules away, as long as we just fucking declare war against these guys. We get like And if it worked out to where they were doing it against reputable groups that were actually willing to go to war, but they don't. They're not even putting it up against the French. They're putting it up against like French Guiana.
I think it's it was. I'm still totally for it. I think it was a lot of the stuff of person like, oh, this dude's mining. I can't allow that. Praise be
Guess we
James
should war deck
3:15. I will war deck you and you'll pay the price. Yeah, it's stuff like that. I mean, it's stuff like I think that if you introduce, it's going to be a progression. I think you're going to get some new peoples that might stick around a little bit longer, which will boost the logins per day in the active users. And I think it really will hopefully push, kind of with the alphas and all that, it'll make it a lot easier for people to kind of integrate in it. Because you need, honestly, let's be real, EVE, you need a community to actually not
You need
hate
friends.
yourself.
You need
Yeah,
a reason
you
to
do.
log in and someone to tell you your shit on a daily basis to keep trying.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
we do this with Dirk all the time, so why is he quitting?
Dirk's not quitting,
Who,
dude.
what?
Like I'm gonna
I
drive.
didn't hear the
I'm
last
gonna
part
take the
there. I didn't hear the
4-hour
first part,
fucking
but-
drive down to his house, put his face in front of the camera.
Maybe
on
we could just
Friday
have like a
nights.
segment each week where Dirk just pops on for like 10 minutes, like a back in my day.
10 minutes is gonna turn into 5
Oh, no,
hours.
we can't.
I-
We can't do it
I
a
could,
back
like,
in my
jump
day.
on,
Shots
do
of
one
Tito's.
shot of Tito's and be like, it's still fucking broken, motherfuckers.
Yeah, we can't call it back in my like. That's actually a Dan
but then
Lebatard
I
sketch,
wouldn't be
so
able
I
to
can't.
enjoy Star
I can't
Citizen
take
the
that.
same
but-
way.
We can have a little sign
But
with a
something
cutout of
similar.
Dirk. Somebody just hold it next to Drake can just hold it next to on his shoulder. He's like,
Bring out
Yeah.
sock.
Philo, is that
Yeah,
like that's not
this is
the core
Dirk.
campus though, dude.
Dirk, what do you have? Something like that.
What does King Aries say? Social media is backfiring and is making it easier to quit Eve, but keep the social media networking.
He's not
You know what?
wrong.
That-
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
That's kind of how like you can
That's
quit the
not
game
wrong.
but not quit, because I guarantee when you quit, Dirk, you're not gonna like cut off all contact with people.
He's
who
not
play
gonna turn off Twitter.
There was a thought of me
Absolutely
like actually like fucking
not.
deleting my
Just
fucking Twitter
going-
account
go-
because
going
like
off the grid?
because my Twitter account is my worst fucking enemy. Like
Dude,
like in
know.
terms of like when
like
Friday
Dirk
comes along,
Drink.
I'm ready and geared to go for this fucking show. And honestly, I look at this show as like we're talking about Eve, but we're just fucking hanging out, having drinks. And I hope everybody out there in the fucking audience is having drinks. And I wish you were here with us and all that kind of shit, right? But like Twitter's
the
kind of my
cabana.
fucking day to day. But I'm gonna be honest, like some of the people that I get most fucking annoyed with on my fucking Twitter at this point are people they don't play anymore. Okay,
Well, Trump doesn't
well,
play.
Trump doesn't fucking play anymore. Okay, but like, it's basically like they don't fucking play anymore and shit like that. So it's kind of like I don't know. Fucking Twitter. I should just fucking kill that. Like I really should just fucking kill that. I
You'll
should just
never
like
kill
start
that,
over
dude.
again and be like,
That's like you,
I should
though.
earn back all of my fucking people that probably have me muted anyways.
Like Twitter's you. Like the whole time I met you and everything, you're just like Twitter, man. Boom.
Dirk,
My
I
twi-
have,
my
I have
twi-
almost just
my
as
Twitter
many
is.
followers
But then
as
again,
you.
this is kind of fucking me, but drunk. But like whatever. And playing up to the whole goddamn idea of like we're doing a fucking show and whatnot. It's like for those of you who met me out in fucking Vegas, I don't sit there and just run my mouth all the time, do I? And Liz Brett's now gonna come back and go, but yeah, you do.
I mean,
I
I
remember
And
something
maybe that's
about
because
a
it's fucking
shirt.
Vegas.
I
and you
mean,
guys
I
fucking
that I
spent
would
hate
give
me.
most
with
of the
my
time
name on
watching
it.
your wife cover your mouth and say, "Let's go, let's go, let's
no,
go."
that only happened twice in Vegas, and somehow like it ended up in my video, and then the other time it ended up in Manic, so it made it look like it happened a lot more often than it really did.
No, I fucking play like especially at certain moments, like on fucking Saturday. But then again,
What King said.
I'm
what
fucking,
King
I'm
said.
fucking like baked and fried out there the whole fucking time, so it just doesn't even fucking matter. It's like when I come back on a fucking normal day, it's like honestly, it's like just fucking chill. It's like I'm not fucking playing to this whole goddamn open comms or Eve Online or Dirk McGurk or whatever the fuck it is, kind of shit, right? And it's like that's kind of the thing that actually gets.
It's like
fucking
your alter
tiresome for
persona.
me.
It's like your Batman.
Well, it really fucking is.
It's like
this
you're the
thing-
Bruce
it's this
Wayne
thing
and
that
Dirk
just
is the
became
Batman.
something. Like it was never into like when when the player first fucking logged in, never intended any of this kind of shit, right? We didn't even have this stuff back then. Back when I joined the
Back in
fucking
my
Eve
day.
in 2008.
Back when I
all we
started-
had was Russian overlords, and
Back
we
when
had
I
no
started, nano
Wolverines.
drakes were a thing.
Hyper.
But anyways,
What are you doing?
I do. I
Raise the
fucking play the
black
fuck up to it. It's like, you know, it's like I know when I'm fucking coming on. It's like my pulse begins to race more and more and more, and I get all fucking more hyped up for being on the fucking show. Otherwise, I'd just be like laying back, being half comatose like Rain.
Fuck you.
Jeez.
I'm an active
Wow.
participant.
What he
Omnishift
means is
Dirk
Rain
says
is
fuck
awesome.
every 10 seconds. Hold on. And OmniShift is right. I do that. I say
I do
fuck
that as
every
well.
10 seconds.
I do that.
Here.
You said doo-doo.
In the real world, I live a real life where it's like you can't do that, and I don't
real
do
life?
it.
You
For
can't
some
do
reason
that?
here, it's just kind of the thing.
He said doo-doo.
I mean, I
So
do
shout
as
to
well.
OmniShift for pointing that out.
I mean, there's times where I don't, but like a lot of times I do. I have a bad habit of swearing like a sailor, like on a normal basis. It's really
Yeah.
bad because I mean it's not just here; it's everywhere. I mean, I have to make a
Graybeard's
conscious
out there.
effort not swear in front of my niece.
Dude, I grew up in the excavation
she-
/ trucker family, and everything out of my parents' mouth was, "Are you fucking stupid?" or "Go
Yeah.
fuck yourself," or "Smart the fuck up."
That's
Alright.
East Coast though. Are you from Massachusetts?
Oh, New Hampshire, but close
Oh,
enough.
that's close. Yeah.
But I do want to bring it back to Eve. It's like I don't know what you guys are gonna do if there's not somebody there to say bring it back to Eve, people.
You never
Um,
shut the fuck.
We'll hire
um,
someone to like just pop in and just.
I
like,
do want
say
to bring
that
it back
every
to
now
this
and
whole idea of like
That'll
you
be
know,
Ray's next job.
You know what they're going to do with anomalies. You know, it's like look, I know how it's worked out for Goons and the Imperium in general. Okay, and I know that you can't fix everything for the highest level of those people who participate in that kind of thing. What's going on down there? It's why I haven't even mentioned the fact. Excuse me, I got the fucking hiccups now.
I was saying like you sound like you're having trouble.
Oh my god,
Do you have hiccups? Prove it. Prove it, Dirk.
if I fucking die the week before my last
Yeah,
fucking show, that would be really
it's like,
fucking
oh man, he was supposed to have
that'd be sick,
surgery next
motherfucker.
week.
I'd go down as a legend. You people would GoFund me and shit.
Dirk, what
No,
happens if you
it's just
die
hiccups.
after you quit and then no one knows? We just
And then
think you
nobody
fucking-
knows.
We're like,
whatever,
yeah, Dirk
whatever
just
happened to that
completely
douchebag?
abandoned the
Dirk
I don't know.
Us.
Maybe he's playing golf with Chesser.
Yeah.
The Miss McGurk would say, "Yo, guys."
Oh yeah, true.
Dirk,
I'm
Dirk
sure.
got
I'm sure
shit
she did.
faced, ended up in the gutter. Game
No,
over.
she's gonna make up a wild story like, yeah, I woke up and I checked his credit card and he took a trip to Europe and I haven't heard from him since.
Ron
He's
Yosem's, he's
doing
like, Dirk,
coke.
real talk. When was the last time you ratted? Manic's like, he doesn't need to. He's got 2 fucking Pocos. I got 2 Pocos on my fucking alt corp. That alt welfare account that I got, like fucking hangs me out. It's like, honestly,
That's how you got that super hard,
I'm gonna
Dirk.
be straight up fucking honest. The last time I ratted, and when I went to Delve, I was prepared to begin to rat because that was the thing that I could just do all day long. Like back in the fucking day, it was fucking mining, but like I just couldn't bring myself. I wanted to start off fucking ratting and shit.
No.
Declan with TNT. Okay, now for those people who were in TNT and knew that we moved from fucking Declan to Tribute, okay, Declan was the last time I did because that was the last time I had to. The fucking ISK grind was not something I needed to do.
So- Can I have some ISK?
However, when we moved from fucking Declan
Rain, that
down to
non-solved
Tribute,
problem.
okay, and then from Tribute, my corp moved from TNT over to CO2. There wasn't a whole lot of time for me to be involved in like, you know, a bunch of shit like that. I was dealing with other things and whatnot. So that may have like, you know, actually, you know, gotten involved and whatnot. But ever since then, it's been more about the fact of, you know what? Now that I'm just a player in a corporation in this game, and I don't need to be on 17 hours out of the day or 8 hours out of the day or whatever the fuck it is. It's like that's how I used to spend my time just dealing with corp issues. Was I would rat while I would be dealing with other corp issues and stuff. And it's like, I don't need to fucking do that anymore. I got enough fucking ISK that it doesn't fucking matter. It's like, and I'm not even fucking rich. I am not rich. Not in Eve. Okay.
Yeah, Eve middle
I've
class
got
that has 2
enough
titans.
ISK to do what I needed to do. Period. And I always had it, and no matter when I was in the game, I had enough ISK to do what I needed to do. There was never a time that I sat there and said, I'm fucking poor because I can't go do. No, you know what? I have obviously not done the things, trained skills, all those kind of things, prepared for it, actually put a financial Eve plan together to go and like be this kind of fucking thing over here, right?
Honestly?
Oh shit, I don't have a fucking Titan? Is it because I'm poor? No, it's not because I'm poor. It's because I don't have skills either for it. It's like,
that's not even
just
the
about
shit. Like,
money.
honestly, I have had a few dudes that have had to come to realization that you need to own some kind of super cap, and they don't like it. They've never wanted to do the capital game, but it's where the direction of Eve is gone. So that's they just bucked up and did it. And I just helped 3 dudes get into Titans because they can't grind it out because they have day lives and jobs. And, I don't have
That's what
life,
I've done.
apparently.
I have
Yeah,
no
I
guys
just
a
do
level
it
of
by
honesty
Titan or
that I hope I
something.
don't give next week, because I hope next week is just like, more fun. But like, one of the things that has disappointed me the most, okay, having flown fucking super capitals in wars back in like, I don't know, 2010 or whatever the fuck it was I was doing.
Ron,
back then.
before you
It's
get
like,
a job.
It's like, I don't want to fucking do it anymore. Like, I don't even want to fucking fly these things anymore because you know what? The game has become bullshit over it. Back then it was fucking cool. Now it's a fucking frigate. It's like, it's fucking bullshit.
It is. It's become
They let
Capitals
the biggest
Online
ships
has
in the
become-
game become bullshit in this fucking game. And you know what? I hope that pays off for them from the standpoint of like more players come in because they feel like they can succeed,
The
get
big
into the
ships,
fucking
get into the big
forward thing.
ships.
It's like, fuck that. You know what? You know what made this game fucking cool back in the day? You had to actually work for some of that shit. And I did work for it back then and still put it at risk. And now it's just like, fuck that. And
think,
you're
too,
gonna make
like-
it harder for me with the new fighter mechanics? Fuck you.
I have a
I think-
minimum of 5 counts with like 100 million skill points. And everybody's like, why don't you just part those characters out? And I'm like, dude, they're my dudes. They've been my dudes since I started this game, and I'm not just gonna throw my SP away for some Rorquals to go mine my fucking, spend my time mining, and jerking off in the corner.
I think the other thing too with
And
With
by
a
the
lot
way,
of,
I
like-
supported the change to fighter mechanics. Okay, in case anybody else there wants to fucking, I supported it because it took higher skill. I was hoping that what that would take.
Yeah, it's like
I was
Well,
hoping
I
that
think-
what that would-
I
I was
think
hoping
now,
that what that would mean
I-
would be people would. But you know what? But you know what it ended up being? It ended up being this whole goddamn idea of if you throw enough super carriers out there with enough fighters, nobody knows.
The turbo
who
lag so
Nobody
much, people will
knows who
drop
the
connection.
good guy behind the keyboard is. Like the
That's
quality
true.
elite player behind the keyboard is. There's just a wall of fucking fighters, and you're like, fuck it.
But that's not Eve now.
There's
Well,
like
now,
there's
well,
like
Eve now,
has
yeah.
come to the
300
realization.
Mongs and like 12 actually talented people behind them.
But
Well,
that's
you
not-
used
that's
They
to
not
have
can't
to actually
even
be
Eve is
able.
about-
players.
Hi, you used to actually have to be able to like know how to fly your ships and use
Right.
your ships too. Like it wasn't like everyone in the like at the beginning. It wasn't like everyone and their fucking mom had a a Faxol, a Titanol, et cetera, et
Is your
cetera,
mom
et cetera.
playing it, Ray?
Because
Is your
you
mom
had to
playing it?
My mom
actually
only had a
know how to use
carrier.
your stuff, right? Like you
Right.
had to know how to move your pilot. You had to
My-
know how
my
to
dad only
how to
flew
save, how
Lokis.
to sino in correctly and align out and all this and that. Like you had to be smart in how you use your shit. So like usually you had the one person have it. Like so with carriers, you had one person had a carrier and then they had like multiple carrier roles. It wasn't like everyone and their mom and XYZ.
So everybody
alliance
had a
having it.
carrier, and they get into a triage back then, right? And then
Yeah, you had to know
everybody's
how
like,
to use it.
oh, the old triage was more powerful if you knew how to use it. Yes, if
Right.
you had time
Well,
behind
you
it,
couldn't
you
get
lost
red
it.
But now-
dots.
but
So if you
nowadays, you can
triage,
have-
you could really die if you didn't know what
Yeah,
you were doing.
so now with
Absolutely.
like the skill injectors, you can have any fucking moron just with a lot of money say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna inject into like a Nixalt, a Big Daddy FC. Tell me how
Wanna
to
buy
fucking use
old
my
triage,
fighters and like stupid shit like that, right? Like everyone has like a fucking Faxol now. Everyone has like a carry-all. Like people
Wait.
can just like
I still don't
feed
play
drugs
So-
faxes.
to anything.
I've just
and it
never,
works.
Like, a
I've
lot of
never been a big
alliances-
fan of the fax. And
You know
well,
what? I'm over
a
there
lot of
sitting there
dudes would
grabbing
say
a fucking beer, and I'm
Titans,
hearing Rain.
Titans.
I'm hearing Rain talk like an old man.
Well, no. So like, one of the
It
very
is.
first things I learned to do was learning how to
Be
sign
young,
out.
Rain.
I
Stay
had to
young.
learn how to
Stay
sign some of my
golden.
friends. And so they taught me everything. Like they were very critical of like, this is how you position it. Be very careful of X, Y, or Z. This was before you could even see like the Sino icon when you hovered over it with your tactical overlay to make sure you weren't going to get them bumped off a fucking station or bumped
No,
outside of a station.
That was the worst. Or you had those
But-
some stations that couldn't do it.
Yeah, but like that was ingrained in me. So like nowadays it's like I've seen people do Sinos and I'm like, holy shit, like if they
Yeah.
had done this, like when I first joined, they would have probably been kicked from my alliance. So like I was in Pizza and Pizza was like, like anyone can join, just fly a Thrasher type not garbage
I've
lanes,
seen
like
some
garbage
bad Cynos.
standards. But yeah, but like
I-
nowadays it's like people can just do whatever the fuck they want. Like they don't actually like people who
The
Roracle
Citadels are
mine
super
or like
easy to
super,
Cyno onto
super
now.
rat.
Like the
Yeah,
range is so easy. Like the stations before, I've been in a couple of situations where just someone was lighting a Cyno for me. I'm like, you know where to light it, right? They're like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I jump.
Nope.
I almost
it's
lost a
just
jump. I almost lost a jump freighter to this one guy. I was helping him move his stuff into the Alliance, like from low second.
But then you lost
Yeah.
a jump freighter another time.
Well, yeah,
Like,
I did before, but like he
I'm a
jumped.
You know what?
complete
Jump
idiot with
freighter dumbness
cats, and
comes
I know
He
like,
lit
I'm
a
a
Cyno
complete
and I'd
idiot with
landed
cats,
on
and
the
I'm
station
watching-
and
It didn't
bounced
read
off
because I was
like
never that fucking
30
dumb, but
kilometers. Luckily,
done
no
it.
one was in
I'll
system,
be
so I
first
just
to admit,
burned back and jumped.
When the
docked up.
neutral Citadels came out, I'm like, dude, just jump it in. We'll warp it off real quick. No, it didn't happen like that.
Yeah, I've lost one jump freighter in my entire 12 years of playing, and it's because I Cyno badly. It bounced, and then a Hard Knocks guy came and tackled me. And I was like, whatever.
Right. But I mean,
it's-
so back to the
Hold on,
statement, like
hold on.
where a
I
lot
wanna-
of people are pushing.
I want to
like,
go back to a comment because I do like to. One of the things I like to do, and I hope that the people who remain on this show afterwards, also like to do it, is like read chat.
I'm always reading chat.
Up until that point, you can no longer read it. I just want you people to know that there is a point where I no longer read it.
Yes, you're right.
Scoundrel, fucking 42. That is why we keep having shitty changes too, because he's drunk. Because everyone is an elite PvPer and never ratted. Oh, I am rich now. You are making ISK too easy. This can't stand. That's not fucking true.
Well,
Because
it is.
hold on.
It is.
Nowadays, with some of the youngins, that's
Yeah,
fucking true because CCP
Remember-
has given everything. They've opened up the floodgates to everything for
Right.
you people.
But do you remember
Okay.
when
ISK,
SEC changed, where SEC
Minerals, all
status
that-
didn't matter?
Oh,
no, I don't know that I remember when sex status.
Remember when they
didn't matter.
changed
Well,
it where sex
it
status
never
mattered and you
fucking
could just get
mattered to me.
anomalies in every system? And then, but like before that, like if you were an old player, like if you're like before 2013 player, that was true ratting. Like you grinded your ass off,
Yes.
and
Oh,
yeah.
before you could buy
Carriers
sex
with
status back?
geckos, not geckos.
It's not even geckos, dude.
well, you
I'm
mean like
talking
with the sex
about
status of
when
the system? Like
status-
if sex status system was like -3, your system sucked regardless.
you
And then
you
could
couldn't
do a
get
shot
it.
for
You
being
don't get it.
old.
You didn't even
Yeah.
get an anomaly. You just sat in the system and said, "I like this system."
Well, yeah, it's there were systems that you just didn't really bother putting iHub upgrades or anything in because it's like
Holy shit! Do we have no
System
delay on
sucks.
what we're doing tonight?
No, we do. There's like
Uh,
an 8-second max.
the delay
I did
depends.
That shot and I
Buzz.
saw it out in the fucking.
Well, the
chat,
the delay is different for everyone. Like the delay
Brisk
you
isn't
get
here, we
on
don't have-
Twitch is
we don't have
different than
any
someone.
I literally
in
did
Europe
the
will get.
fucking shot, and like 2 seconds later saw me do a
It
shot
depends.
on Twitch.
It depends on it depends on my latency to Twitch, but then when Twitch broadcasts it out, it depends on your connection to Twitch's server.
Jaden, can you do me a solid?
So you might have a different delay than what Iron
What?
Wolf has, than what Rain has, than what everyone else in the chat has. What's up? What's the solid you want?
Can you get rid of the tie, bro? You're just fucking with that thing, like.
It's not
Solid,
Briss.
bro.
Briss is not here.
I haven't
You like a
touched it in
slow
a while.
shot?
I was
Slow
talking
shot?
like this. I haven't like it's choking me though.
Either nail it to your ceiling,
Say
or
harder.
like just
We-
take it
Just
off.
put it on the
weak
green
midget.
board behind you, bro. Just call it a day. Like you tried.
I'm trying. I committed. I said Brisk isn't here.
We literally have no delay anymore on this show,
Wait,
which is gonna be
no,
so good
Dirk,
because I'm gonna
it's
like
your
say a bunch
last
of
week-
curse words and some derogatory
wait,
shit in a little
Dirk.
while.
So since it's your last week next week, can we should we do all just dress up as Dirk's like exit? We should all just wear ties.
No,
and
next
shit?
week should be a fucking normal week, which is where like later in the week I'll sit there and throw show notes together and make sure that there are fucking topics to talk about. Now, the week after is the week that all of you people need to fucking worry about.
Well,
No,
see, I
Rain's
think
got
Dirk,
it. She's got-
Dirk
she's got
should
it.
have Chris
No
in the show.
respect.
Don't
next
shake
week.
your head, Rain.
Chris in the show next week with the open comms drink and the picture of Turtle Dirk on Tito's bottle.
We're just gonna have Hyper Viper. He
So
can
you're
do
gonna
show
have to
notes.
actually get her the fucking picture of that and shit, because like she's not gonna look that shit up out in fucking Google or anything.
Swear to God. Actually, can we talk about something next week?
What?
So,
what do you want?
So next week, Saturday, is the streamer death race. It starts
Oh.
at 2000 Eve time. It's gonna
The
be
Dirk
raising.
Death Wake Up.
two streamers streamers
Yes.
enter, one streamer leaves.
It's actually a bunch of streamers, and so I think there's like tons of different prizes for people, not only like the streamers themselves, but those viewers watching, as well as they're raising funds for a Love of Lacey charity, which is a daughter of an Eve player who passed away, and they set up a charity specifically for her. So yeah,
So
you
are
guys
there
should all check it out.
spears
2000
involved?
So Drayden,
all over.
this week is
all
both
over
times.
2000 Eve time?
2000 Eve time on Saturday, so the 15th. So
That's
like all over Twitch.
Wait, no, it's not.
No, it's not. Trade-in. That's like 8 o'clock, like European time.
what's the American time like?
It's like
where it
noon,
matters?
Drayden.
It'd be
It's
like
like
noon
noon,
for
Jordan.
me, I think.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
It's early.
I didn't do it earlier in the night, but I just want to say I'm not quitting. I just want to see how you guys would all react.
I know
What
you're
the
not.
frick?
No,
Yo,
hold on.
he's fucking with
hold
this
on,
guy.
guys,
He's
actually,
rolling
I
out
am.
his chair right
I was
now.
like, no,
That's not my. Wait. Okay, actually, I am. And you still failed my test, even if I fucking wasn't, about how you would prepare for shows beyond Dirk, which I'm gonna be interested to watch. Except for the fact that I'm going to go out on Friday nights.
Whatever, Dick. You're gonna be fucking sitting at home waiting for the show
Yeah,
to show up.
bored.
You're gonna be like,
You're gonna be
"Why
bored out of
would
your
have said
fucking
that?"
I
mind,
might,
dude.
I might.
Well,
I might
where's
be one
this
of the,
topic?
I literally might be mean Harry out in fucking chat, but you know what? Don't fucking ban me. Don't
Well,
say shit
We
or
just
whatever.
won't even
like,
mention Dirk. We're like, oh,
I'm-
who's that?
I want the free, like, there is a point of me that wants the fucking freedom of, like, being able to go out with my wife on a fucking Friday and be like, whoa, there's a really cool thing on Friday night. Fuck that shit, I got a
Dirk,
show.
we can move the show back to Thursday if that's your issue.
No, I can't be going into work hungover.
Bitch, work gotta happen on Fridays. Like, we're like working human beings that pay taxes in
good.
America.
It's good
America.
for us and good for the
America.
audience on Fridays. Like, no one wants to get drunk on Thursday night when they got to work on Friday.
The next couple weeks, though. Well,
I mean, like, I
doesn't
would,
matter,
you work
it's
from
surgery
home.
and shit. But oh my god, I fucking logged in today to like check when my fucking sub thing was up and shit like that, which I didn't miss. I fucking knew what the fucking date was. I had a fucking in-game email from somebody who's like, fucking Open Comms isn't the same when you're not there. And I'm
Oh,
like,
jeez.
I'm like, I know, bro. It's just
And then
like
the
it
first
just
off-
isn't.
Well, I mean, like,
First off, he sent an Eve
of
mail.
course
That's
it's not the
Drayden.
same because it's like minus one of the people on the show. It's like
Do you think that's what they meant, Drade?
well, probably not.
Mm,
No, but I mean,
no.
I'm just saying, like, it's definitely gonna like. If you're
I'm
not
just
here,
asking.
it's gonna be.
I mean,
a different
I was just
show.
asking if that's what you thought they meant.
No,
However, since we still have 26 minutes left of the show,
It's before the after
26?
show.
I'm looking at 23.
It says 22 at this point.
Oh no, 26.
Like,
No,
I got
read-
10:34 p.m. Eastern
Yeah,
Standard
I
Time
do as-
on
10:34
Microsoft
p.m.
I do as well. I
Eastern.
did
In
a,
Sweden,
no, I did a quick like glance at the clock and I didn't actually read the numbers right.
Okay,
It wasn't
So,
bad math. It was just
we
bad
got a little
number
bit of
reading.
time here, right?
Yeah, no,
We
it's
have
'Cause I
25
want
minutes.
I want to throw in the
Service
drama
was
that
safe.
I promised people from this week because like
What?
there was some drama this week. It happened earlier in the week. It happened before I think even Trump went to Argentina and
To
like,
jail.
you were about to say
other
jail.
things happened across the fucking world that we all care about and shit like that. There was this whole
That's-
fucking thing. There was an INN article out there about how some fucking motherfucker who happens to be somebody that Blastum from this show knows apparently had a really bad experience at fucking PL Fest
Oh, yeah, so
This
2017.
one.
It was an article called what was it?
it was done by Rodin.
Alliance
who's the
Culture and
Goonswarm.
Evenings. Okay,
I
now I'm
missed
going to
this
ask
one.
you right now, Hyper. Okay, being from the organization within the organization underneath the organization that you are,
In shadows.
was this just a propaganda bullshit piece?
It's nothing
No,
but.
no, it really wasn't.
propaganda
Actually, I was
bullshit
talking
piece.
to Rodin about this when he came to town after the week after E Vegas because he comes in for Halloween.
For the tamale conference?
No, he comes out for Christmas or not Christmas, for Halloween. But anyways, we were just talking about how the different cultures of how different groups are inclusive and some aren't. Like PL is definitely one of those that if you're not invited to the group,
You're gonna get a big yikes from me, and I'm gonna shut this down because I'm not gonna
Well,
sit here and listen to
hold
people
on.
spin about how PL is not inclusive.
Number one.
No,
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 no.
no.
Wait, so-
number
so-
one,
No,
number one,
don't
number
sit there
one.
and generalize like that. You can
That's
point
not
out
fair,
Well,
dude.
hold on.
that's
Literally,
absolute fucking garbage. If we don't sit here
You
and throw
gave me
people
shit
under the
last
bus.
week because I BL and you shut me down. So we'll
Hold
listen to some.
Yeah, 'cause you were
literally,
spinning
literally,
about
you're not
BL.
gonna
Spinning,
down.
please,
By
dude.
What you're gonna do is
fucking
you're gonna
balls.
cordially disagree.
Okay, so here's what I will generalize it, not call out PL. Some groups have better in-game
Well, hold
moves
on.
than others.
Can I go back to the fucking initial part of this? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to respond being a end of the panel panelist or anything like that. But like, let me just kind of present this out there. There was this article written, okay, that began like Alliance culture and Eve meets, and you're sitting there going, oh shit, what might this be when I click on this? And it went through the initial fucking hardship of this young man. I think because he was, well, whatever. I'm going to assume young man. I'm sorry if I assumed you're whatever.
It was a guy.
Who went to Vegas this year. I'm sorry, who went to Goon Summerfest, okay? And was like, kind of blah 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 blah, and apparently had a bad experience last year at Vegas, okay? There was not a whole lot of detail to that. What I will say about this, I did find out later on that there was more detail to his particular story, okay, out on the Goon forums, which were what was used initially to begin, this particular story. I'm going to say this, okay, right off the fucking start, okay? It is really hard for literally anybody right now who's talking to be able to speak from the freaking perspective of a bro out there who's not on a fucking talk show or who's not a higher up in an organization or who doesn't have any of those other fucking credentials that like just makes them a normal average bro.
So
That being said, before you say that, whatever you were going to say, okay, I also want to say this was a really horrible, trashy, fucking no editor ever should have printed this fucking article without actually fleshing out more on INN, okay? If what you wanted to do was make an Imperium/Goon kind of, we're better at the social side of things than all the rest of those people, come on over, propaganda piece, then just fucking do it. You could have done it better than this. If what you were trying to do is make a commentary across General Eve, then you fucking failed.
Yeah, I'm gonna just come from my own opinion, not from INN or Rodens. I think, when you think about the general population of Eve players, a lot of us are introverts. A lot of us sometimes aren't the most sociably easygoing people. So sometimes we have issues, getting, being able to go out to actually meet people in real life.
On both the bad side and the good side, right?
Yeah. On both
On all
sides.
sides. On all sides.
On both the aggressor side and the victim side, because it's sometimes hard. Like the whole idea of somebody being socially awkward and socially fucked up and things like that, right? Like you may have angry social people who don't want you around, and then you may also be one of those people who other people don't want around.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, oh yeah, this person.
Oh my
in
God,
the
there he
article-
is. Don't think I don't fucking recognize your name, Neo.
Some people, they come to an event like
Oh,
Vegas,
shit, thanks,
big
man.
thing. And
By the way, I'm gonna be a tip for Neo who want honestly, number one. See, he fucking hearted me so quick because we got no fucking delay. I'm about ready to say a bad word. I'm gonna say a bad word. Grr, Obama.
Thanks, Swim.
Okay.
so I was just saying, sometimes
Doing a shot
it's
to fucking
easy
Neo for like
coming
actually being
to
out
an
there and responding.
event to meet people that we've only played games with, and being a little bit awkward, and some things happen, and it makes it, somebody says something that makes you're like, oh, okay, I'm not invited. I can't be a part of this. And it makes you feel left out. Let's be honest. And nobody wants to feel that. Come to events.
Haven't we all felt that though?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure we have.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
But-
I'm gonna tell you right now. I didn't feel that my first Eve Vegas. I felt it in Eve Vegas's after that. I've felt it at other times. Like I feel that as well. If
Yeah,
I fucking feel that, it's like And I go into it with a high set of fucking expectations, being like, "Bitch, don't you know?" But
Right.
yeah, it's like,
Vegas, and we said it multiple times. Like, it's Switzerland, man. Let's all just get
hold
along
on,
because
hold on.
we're like,
Yeah,
which
easier
is
to say
why
Switzerland.
this year at fucking Eve Vegas, that fucking cabana, I swear to God, I could not have made that fucking that cabana
No.
more all inclusive.
Yeah.
I could
Nope.
not have done it other than unless it was like literally like sandals level
Like,
all inclusive.
everybody-
Not even
everybody
sandals
from
level
every
where you had
alliance
to
was
bring
there.
like a couple with you or something
The
like
thing
that.
is, like,
but like
people had to find it, but once they were out there, it's like, hey, it was like, it was
we had
totally
drink
such a
free
mix
beer
of
and
fucking
shoot
people
the
out there,
shit.
not
I
just
mean,
from alliances, from fucking
everybody,
backgrounds
like,
and all that kind of shit.
It was like every day
whatever.
there was like
This
some of the
is
same
what we're
people
fucking
there,
here
and
for,
then there was
people.
new people there every
Yeah,
day,
there's
so.
some people that can take the game and leave it at the game, and once you come to real life,
No,
it's different.
hold on. When you say that, though, I'm trying to read into what you mean by that. There are
Well,
some
so-
people. It's
so-
not
so
that there are
here's the thing.
some
The
organizations,
overall
and I
whole
want
thing that
to
I'm trying
to
to say is-
stipulate for the fucking record, okay? Stipulate for the fucking record that the Imperium, because of goons, okay, have created the greatest social organizational like thing, okay, in this fucking game. They've put in so many goddamn tranches of like, hey, do you just want to hang with these people? Do you just want to like chill with them? Don't fuck your corp. We don't give a shit. We got
Yeah,
SIGs and we've got
SIGs
like
and
all
stuff,
this
yeah.
kind of shit. We've got all these different fucking mechanisms for you to be able to. They have done it better than everybody else. Just because they've done it better than everybody else, does that make all the other ones inadequate?
No, it doesn't, and I think that's what I don't know if you've seen. Like Rodin's been posting our monthly goon meets. A lot of us have opened it up to non-goons. I mean, as
actually,
Eve
there's one near
nerds-
me soon. I keep forgetting.
as Eve nerds, we like to, it's nice to be able to see other people, know that we're not the only one in the area. Like I run the Vegas one. I used to do it every single month. I've gone busier, so we're doing it every quarter now. But still, I invite anybody that wants to come. I'm always happy to meet them. Don't care who they are. They could be PL, Test, whatever. I don't care. You want to come have drinks? You come have fun. I think that's the thing, is just trying to show. We have worked hard to make it inclusive, and we're trying to expand beyond just the Imperium, and then let everybody know that what's in the game stays in the game, but outside we're all Eve nerds and we're here to have a good time.
Right. But it's like when you look at an article like that where it's like this whole idea of sort of like attacking, and look, I don't understand what actually fucking happened out there. I can't possibly understand that. Although Vegas 2017 for me was like completely less goons than 2016 was. I went to the fucking dinner that year and shit like that. But like, and it's really weird for fucking me because it's like, look, I just want to fucking hang with our listeners. I want to fucking hang with like every person who plays this fucking game, who like even says, Dirk, you're a fucking dick. Okay. It's like, I want to hang with fucking Eve players. But there are people who are coming for the first time. When I came for the first time to Eve Vegas, and Eve Vegas is different than other player meets. People need to recognize that. Number one, right off the bat. When you've got 15, 16, 1,700 people that are coming to an Eve player meet, different than, are they just hanging out in fucking Cleveland? Like, it's
Wisconsin?
just different. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, nobody is shutting you out of a fucking room in Cleveland. They're not even doing it in fucking New York City. The New York City player meet, honestly, 20 people max, okay? Everybody else out there has big time shit, okay? But you can't fucking count places like FanFest, Eve Vegas, probably even like, lame, nasty people who are like Eve Down Under or Eve Amsterdam and shit like that.
I was
okay?
like, I was
No,
like,
they're
the
beautiful
second you said that, I was like, he's
fucking
either going to
people.
say
But
Amsterdam or
they'd
Eve Down
also
Under.
probably-
Like,
they'd also probably have their own like nasty element of people who are there who are like, yo, you're not with us, bro. Fuck off.
Well,
it's
Okay?
not nasty,
It's like-
it's just Australian tough
It-
love.
it's also just we have our groups, we have our people that we're familiar with, we know what to expect when we go to hang out with them, and then we have something that might not be integrated as much. Sometimes it can create things more awkward. I think obviously I've never spoken to the person in the article, but when something happens, it makes things really awkward. Your
Dude, is your dog wanting to go out
Dog really
for a
wants to
fucking...
go outside. I could tell.
Your dog's like, take me out for a pee.
okay.
Seymour,
The dog
feed me.
dog will survive for 2 minutes while I finish my steak.
Why are you so
Hey,
abusive
you're making a
to
good
your
point,
animal?
Viper, so yeah.
Yeah, sometimes things happen. We're used to our comfort zones, and especially as introverts, as most of us are. But and sometimes it might not come off as like, oh, you're not a part of our clique. You can't be a part of us. Stuff happens. First time I went to Vegas when I lived here, was with PL. I went for the dinner. It was really nice. I got to hang out in the suite because they won it in the drawing. Great people. I met Gobbins and all sorts of people, and it was kind of like, oh, this is kind of neat. Nobody was really, oh, you're a Tropa de Elite. You're the only person here from your corp in PL. We're gonna kick you out. No, it's very socially acceptable. But I think sometimes some things happens and it makes it awkward, and makes people not want to come. And then when people see outside of the game, we're trying to be fairly inclusive in our meets, and sometimes it's dichotomy of personal experiences. That's best I can put it as.
The thing when it comes to the meets is most things are pretty open. Everything I've come across and has been pretty, and like Dirk would say, it's like, yes, I'm on this show, but Dirk is the notable face of the show. And Rain's a very notable face.
You're fucking Drayden.
Yeah,
You're
but I mean,
Drayden, guy.
like there's
Next
people
year,
who I
if
am,
I'm
but there's a
fucking
lot of
dead,
people that
you're
don't
gonna
know
be
who the fuck I
Don't
am.
you know
so,
who I am? I'm fucking Drayden.
But like, I'll
I
walk
gotta
in
look
and
back.
Drayden's the guy that's shit-faced and just still gets
well,
his
no,
stuff
but I'm saying
together.
like I'll walk in and like people still usually. There's been a few like usually the only like quote unquote closed events I've seen are things that are mainly they're closed because of capacity. And like
No, that's bullshit. And this was the point that I was trying to make about FanFest.
Well,
or
what I'm saying, like
Vegas.
the very first Vegas,
when you've got so many people coming to these things, there are going to be little side events. There are
Hey,
going to be
Drayden, I
these
was
things
you in
over
Vegas,
here.
so I mean,
well,
I'm gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now. And if there is one fucking monkey from the fucking Goonian or the broader Imperium or shit like that wants to pretend like, oh no, all things are open to all of our people. No, that's not fucking true either. You either fucking don't get invited or you get fucking rebuffed if you even like remotely. This is a fucking game of human beings, okay? That when they get to places as sizable as Eve Vegas or FanFest or things like that, some of the times they just want to fucking hang out together. They're
it's the beard,
fucking,
Drayden.
and I'm not saying the upper echelon or the elites that I was seeing out there on fucking Twitter and other places. It's like, it's got nothing to do with that. It has to do about human beings who are just like, you know what? I've got a fucking suite, and if I want to invite a few fucking people and let them invite some people, but not you, motherfucker, because you don't have a fucking black card, you can't get in the fucking door.
That's
True.
the party that's what I'm saying. Like the Goon Suite party is a thing where like, you need the special card to get in, and you only get the card
Sounds
if you're
pretty exclusive.
It is because
But,
the room is
like-
only so
it might
big.
be because you
But-
know,
but
jail
you see
fucking
my
air
point?
in the room is
But
expensive.
do you
hold
see
on.
my point?
Like JL said, there is a lot less little
But-
closed groups than there used to be. So
There is, but the thing is, like, when the room capacity is like 50 to 80 people and 300 people want in, you have to exclude the majority of the people that want to get in, and then that's
And
kind of where it
by the way,
becomes
I
selective.
don't want to fucking dumb down.
That's
man,
the point.
you let Rain in.
I don't want to
so-
dumb down because I totally went back before this show, like right before this show happened, because I wanted to make sure I understood what was written in that fucking article out there. Okay, about how Neo fucking apparently expressed his kind of thing, and honestly, that article is not the way of expressing what he fucking said. Okay, but it was really fucking shallow in that article to try and put off a certain vibe. I'm gonna say this: if any of you out there fucking read the fact, I've been to fucking Eve Northeast, okay, with people that I had just joined, okay, and granted, I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier. Nobody on this show, okay, who is a regular or even talking right now could even talk about the fact of what it is for your average player out there to show up at an Eve event, okay, out of the fucking blue. So please take what I'm about ready to say for fucking granted. TL ain't fucking like that.
No,
Okay,
they're not.
none of them.
Hyper,
Hold on,
good.
hold on, hold
I
on.
mean,
They
listen,
are in some
when we
ways.
were at the cabana.
We fucking hazed the fuck out of a waffle up at Eve Northeast. Okay, because he was a fucking waffle and somebody had to get our beers. Okay, but like, but fucking waffle got to hang with us, motherfucker. Okay, like he just did.
Exchange for
Okay?
getting the
Could have been worse. It could have been a pancake.
Okay.
What was that
Well,
waffle?
Pancakes
Whoa!
hadn't happened.
Well,
Pancakes hadn't happened at the time.
We all know
Okay?
that French toast is better than both, though, right?
Very true.
But, okay, I am still gonna say, yes, the fucking goons have put together the most organized social freaking portion of this game that has also extrapolated into their own in-game. Like, they work on a fucking, like, both sides of the equation kind of thing when it comes to Eve, right? That's how they fucking do it. They've got people who are thinking about this, about how it works, who can we get, all that kind of shit. It's like total fucking props to them.
Yeah, we let you in for the dinner.
No, and you know what? When I hold on,
Me too, and I wanted
and
to be.
hyper. Don't think that I didn't think about shit like that when I began to read this article and whatnot. And that was the thing that caused me to sit there and say, you know what? Every single motherfucker I know that's talking about this article right now has no reason to talk about shit because number one, they're on a fucking props list. They're on a fucking list of like, you know what? Oh, well, not them. We only mean the fucking average people. You know what I mean? It's like that's fucking bullshit.
Shots, Dirk. Shots.
All right, shots. Okay,
Well, we
but,
just
yeah,
popped.
you know, but the fact of the matter is
Rain, where's the
that
shot?
nobody should ever
I did mine.
read an article like
Oh,
this and
okay.
think that, you know what,
My bad.
around Eve Online,
That
going
there's, like,
to
this-
a fucking player meet is somehow bad fucking culture depending on what organization you're with. Because
No,
whether
not
I
at
was
all.
with fucking CO2 or whether I was with fucking TNT and the Imperium or whether I was with fucking PL, I'm going to tell you right now, the people that you know are going to be fucking chill as fuck. It doesn't mean that every fucking second of the day you're going to be able to show up at everything that
So,
like,
when we were in a
guys who
cabana-
are part of that organization are
Let me
going to
just
do.
say, when we were in a cabana, we had Headliner was there, Elo was there. Elo's a little bit hungover because you know Elo just party hard
Yo
all day.
was all
He was
kinds
not
We
of
fucked
had
fucked
up.
up.
He was
all
drunk.
alliances, all cultures, all
Right.
genders,
Rain,
all fucking
myself, Drayden,
everything.
Dirk.
I swear to God, I held
Well,
the
there was
most
people in and out all the time.
all-inclusive fucking Eve
Right.
event ever.
I mean,
'Cause
Elo
I'm Dirk
and
and I
Headliner
just do
might have
fucking
made out,
all-inclusive.
but what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the thing is, like, and also, like Dirk was saying,
And I
like,
don't want to shit on this too much. I'm sorry, Jaden, go.
well, I'm just saying, like, Dirk was saying, like,
Wait, hold on.
you changed your mind? You can change your mind about quitting? Or you change your mind about shitting on shit? Change your mind about quitting on shit? I'm sorry.
Dude, we had so many IPAs there, bro.
No, hold on. I was just going to say something real quick. I'm just saying, like, there are a few things at big, giant meet events like eVegas or eFanFest. I'm sure there's a few things where it's like there's just a set amount of people that are going to do something, and if you're not in that group, then you aren't going to go. But the vast majority of the time, everyone's just hanging out in a general public area, and it is all inclusive. There is no exclusivity. Like, you can literally walk up to people and be like, "What's up? Who are you guys?" and start bullshitting. I mean, and then it just comes down to like how like are you sociable or are you not? Because like there's some people that's like
Yeah.
some people just want to talk about the game while they're at the event,
that-
and then
and
there's
that
some
was
people
one
that
of the
just
things
don't
that
want to talk about
annoyed
the game
me.
at all. They want to
That
talk
was
about
one of the things
real
that
life.
fucking annoyed me out of the fucking comments that I was seeing out there related to some of this stuff. It began to get off into people who had fucking difficulties. Like, yeah, motherfucker, do you remember what you were like back in 2015? Yes, I recognize how you had a fucking difficulty. Okay, I'm not gonna fucking
think-
name names.
I mean, I think it's also worth mentioning too that there are times where like it's a big group event, and I think we mentioned this already, but like you can't invite everyone. Like capacity of a hotel room,
No,
going to a
there's some
restaurant,
dinners and
When-
stuff
having
like
a
that.
reservation. If your reservation's 5 people
That
and your
that
friend
doesn't
is like,
seem to
"Hey,
be
can I
what
bring my
Neo was
6?"
talking about,
It's
like
like, no.
how he got excluded
Yeah,
from
but I
something
mean,
that
I'm
he
just saying
signed
it's
up for
something to
late or anything
consider
like that.
too.
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
and
And
like-
Lane's right. There's
and I-
capacity
and I
levels for
honestly
everything.
don't-
There are times where it's like, sorry, capacity. Like we can't bring everyone that wants to go.
I do not in any way want to put this off onto one individual's perspective or experience. Okay. Neo may be able to actually communicate the fact, and I've tried to get him on here tonight because, like I told Drayden, get me fucking Neo. like in really.
He's
like,
coming on the
large
after
cap
show.
He he's
He got. He
coming on the
yeah.
fucking
He's
after
coming to the after
show?
show. Yeah.
Oh, so great. Thank you, Neo, for fucking me later.
And I didn't realize Neo's the
Take
one
another
that
shot, Dirk,
Neo's
get
the
ready.
one that saved my vape. I left my vape at the 3535, and he came and found me later on in the day. He's like,
See?
"Hey, I found your
And
vape." I'm
fucking
like, "No
Blasphemy
shit, I was
is
looking
going,
for that."
I saw. Hold on. And I want to throw this back just a second because Blast Him from Hell, who was like part of this show, met him out in Vegas last year, I believe, at the fucking Saturday night party and whatnot. And he's the one that talked him to coming to Karma Fleet. Because last year he was having a difficult time in fucking Vegas 2017 based on whatever fucking happened out there. And that's who got him to come here. So it's like there's all these fucking connections that happen and shit like that. But you know what? Fuck this shit. I don't give a shit. Fucking Vegas is the coolest fucking thing ever. Like, just go there. Just know that, like, you're just not gonna be the fucking Israeli fucking agent, like, guarding me and my wife as we walk down the street. Just know that you're not gonna be Rain carrying people off to, like, all women's karaoke. Just know that you're not gonna be Drayden breaking your knee on a fucking, like, concrete bench because you're looking through the
Jesus.
viewfinder of your fucking camera. Like, not all of this can happen to all of you, okay? Just know that you just gotta go and
Only
be
Dirk.
chill motherfuckers.
You gotta write your own stories.
I mean, the funny thing is that all this stuff
Write
happened.
your own story. Thank you, Rain. That's perfect.
That's
Write your own
deep.
story. Oh man, dude! Like, what if they had like a submissions thing where everyone
Yeah,
just
we
submitted
should
their
all
Vegas?
submit.
Like,
Oh Jesus!
No,
oh,
you didn't mean
no.
that, right?
No.
my God, like,
Right. We're getting
No.
ready to go to the
no!
after show.
Now I gotta write an article for Imperium News, and it's gonna be terrible.
They submit garbage.
I've
anyway,
never
Drayden,
written an
so
article
fit in.
before.
Dude,
I
I
think
thought
I
you
should.
were
wanna
soft
fucking write-
Tito's and ended
any
up
of you
bringing home
wanna
by
write
cops.
River or whoever's
You
in
mean-
charge right now will fucking publish.
Wait,
They don't
Matterall's
give a
not in
shit.
charge?
You mean more
You
trash?
should be
than
like,
to
oh,
point to
Drayden,
stats?
you
I would
should
hope
write-
Matterall wouldn't
You
write
should be
garbage
me,
like that
Drayden.
through.
You should write an article being Vegas is the best thing to ever happen. We don't care what happens to the people that fall by the wayside.
Well, I'm
Well,
just saying,
Drayden
it's
was
like
the
if
fucking
Matterall's in
Vegas
charge, he'll let my
zombie,
article go
so-
through anyway, even if it sucks. If Reva's in charge, she'd be like, "This is shit. Get out of here."
What up, bro? Didn't you even have a hooker back in your room?
Didn't she even slam her face off the door and fucking you just walked away?
Jeez.
Oh man, like
I think the biggest takeaway from coming to an Eve meet is, yes, some of us will be awkward, some of us might not be able to communicate well, but you're still welcome. Come enjoy, hang out, and have a drink.
So if you're in Vegas,
For sure.
I'll be there every year. You can hit me up. I'm always at 35-35.
see, here's
You
the
can,
thing.
you can hit
Drayden's
up Hyper
skipping.
Hyper.
You're at
Drayden's
35,
skipping.
35, like
I'm
even when
skipping-
Vegas
I-
is
thought that-
not
wait,
gonna
that's
be
not gonna
there
change,
next
right?
year.
That's
Well,
gonna change, right?
Well, hold
Yeah,
on. I've
shit.
been to the last 5 Vegases. I might not. I don't think I can go to this next one because
Yes,
I'm going
you
on the Cruises
know
of
better.
Eve Alaskan cruise thing that a bunch of people are going on.
Number one,
And I can't
number
afford
one,
that
if
and
any
Vegas
of
at
you
the same
roll
time.
into fucking 35 and that motherfucker is sitting there on, say, a Wednesday night, just please
Thursday.
let me know. I'll
Thursday.
come out of retirement and laugh.
Thursday. You're gonna be there. I'm gonna tell your wife make you come
If
down.
I mean, like the thing is, like, if I had the money, if I win the lottery, how about this? If I win the lottery, I'm going.
You can come work for me, Drayden.
How much do you
go,
pay, and
Drayden.
what do I have to do?
I mean,
Good
hookers
amount.
are cheap.
Plumbing.
Whatever. Guess what? It's 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard
Oh,
Time. The
shit.
only real fucking time in the goddamn world. We
Wait,
gotta
Dirk.
go.
Post the Skype picture in
Oh,
chat.
do you want to link
Yeah.
your
Post
E
it,
thing?
post it on the way
Rain,
out.
one more
Drayden.
time?
But you know what? All I'm saying is we gotta go because like there's this other thing coming up on another fucking channel. And then another thing coming up on
Shots.
another fucking
Oh,
channel.
shots.
Oh,
Yep.
we gotta do shots.
We gonna do
Shots,
fucking
guys.
shots? You know what?
Shots and later.
Always
bitches.
shots for the
Fucking
road.
nip Rit on the way
Bam.
out.
The nip rip. Like Dirk always takes a
Later,
pull
bitches.
from the nip at the end of the show.
Later. Support Rain's little
Yes.
thingy majiggy stream thing.
Oh my god! I
Yeah.
think that fucking nip
Thingamajiggy?
blew its own gasket.
Thingamajiggy.
Nice,
Dude,
nice,
dude,
nice
Dirk,
pimp out, by the way.
I got-
Support
I got-
Rain's
I got-
thingamajiggy
I
on the
got
stream.
Chin slop on that one.
You guys have to cut the stream. Is the stream cut?
Oh my god!
Oh no, no,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right, later, bitches.
Don't yell at me yet, Jesus.
I can't believe she blew her like
After show.